Ẹ kú wájú Mrs. mo ti gbàgbé orúkọ tí brọ́dà yín máa ń pè yín. Wọ́n níran àbí
Mi ní rán yín létí o.
ẹ̀rọ mi ti máa pè wọ́n sì máa bè lọ wọn. Ẹ kú wájú, mo kí gbogbo ilé o.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ o. Ẹ kú ìjókòó gbogbo àwa ọmọlúàbí tá a wá sí orí ìpàdé lónìí. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ṣé ohùn mi já síta, ṣé ẹ gbóhùn mi àbí kí n increase volume?
Ohun yín clear bẹ́ẹ̀ tó ṣe jẹ pẹpẹ soup ni, ó wà okay.
Ẹ ṣé. Mo kí gbogbo wa kú ìjókòó láti ẹ̀ẹ̀kan. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tí ó tún mú wa rí ọjọ́ òní. A lọ láti ọ̀sẹ̀ tó kọjá. A dúpẹ́ pé wọn ò gbé ẹnikẹ́ni dìgbàdìgbà nínú wa àbí kán fi ìpè tí a ò lérò tì kí wọ́n fi máa ránṣẹ́ sí wa. Nítorí náà mo kí gbogbo wa pé a kú ìjókòó, bóyá ọ̀sán la wà, ẹ káàsán, ẹ káalẹ́, ẹ kú ìdájí, ẹ kú ìyálẹ̀ta, níbikíbi tí a bá ti ń darapọ̀ mọ́ ìpàdé tòní. Ti tòní yìí ló máa jẹ́ 207th town hall meeting, 202 of its kind. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Elédùmarè tó kà wá yẹ. A ti rí tọ́pìkì ti tèní, nǹkan tí a fẹ́ gbé yẹ̀wò lénìí. A bá rí àwọn tó jẹ́ pé ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ wọn ní àárín wa, a kí yín tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀, a kí yín tẹ̀ṣọ́tẹ̀ṣọ́, a kí yín káàbọ̀ sí àárín wa. Tó bá dẹ̀ pé àwa tá a ti ń wá náà ni, mo kí gbogbo wa náà pé Ọlọ́run tún kà wá yẹ lónìí. So thank you for coming. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún àjíǹde ara tó ń jẹ́ ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan wa. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe wa, wọ́n ní ìlú tí kò sí òfin, ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ò sí ńbẹ̀, torí a ò ní rí pé ní tí à ń ṣe kò dára. So ní àtàrí ìyẹn, mo fẹ́ rọ̀ wá pé kí á mute ara wa. Látàrí èyí, ọ̀rọ̀ tá a fẹ́ kó jáde sáfẹ́fẹ́ kò ní lè jáde sí i. So but tí àsìkò bá tó láti jẹ́ kí á sọ̀rọ̀, a lè tú ara wa sílẹ̀ láti sọ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Ká má dẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ lé ẹni tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́, so tá a bá mute à ní lè ṣe yẹn. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. A ó máa tẹ̀síwájú lẹ́yìn tá a ti kọ orin orílẹ̀-èdè wa. Fídíò lẹ́lẹ́ ni yóò máa fẹ́ ni a fẹ́ wò báyìí. Lẹ́yìn yẹn, màmá wa Directorate Director wọ́n á sọ ọ̀rọ̀ ìkíni káàbọ̀ sí orí ìpàdé tòní.
Lẹ́lẹ́ ni yóò máa fẹ́.
Directorate Director. On mute ma.
Yes, ẹ ṣé gan ni, mo kí gbogbo wa. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin bàbá mi, ìyá mi, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, àbúrò mi àti ẹ̀yin ẹgbẹ́ mi. Ẹ kú àbọ̀ sí orí ètò yìí. Ẹ kú gbogbo ìgbà. Kí Olódùmarè túbọ̀ sọ agbára yín dọ̀tun. Kò ní sún wa o, kò dẹ̀ ní rẹ̀ wá ní àṣẹ Ìdùmarè. Today, our panelist critical discussion shall focus on justice or miscarriage, examining the death sentence for self-defense in Nigeria. This topic goes to the heart of fairness, human rights, and the rule of law in Nigeria. Our esteemed panel shall attempt to dissect this critical issue. They will seek to offer insights that we hope will drive meaningful change while Nigeria subsides. Their essential postulation may also serve as a warning to the citizens of Yoruba Nation on how not to do things when a sovereign Yoruba nation eventually emerge. I urge each of us to engage actively in this discussion, to listen, take notes, and raise issues for our panelists to address during the question and answer section. Once again, I welcome you all, and I look forward to thought-provoking and enlightening section. Odùduwà á gbè wá o, kò ní gbé àwọn ọ̀dàlẹ̀. Èmi ọmọ ọba Adéọlá Táyérọlá mi jùlọ, kò ní dalẹ̀ Yorùbá o, ìwọ ńkọ́? Over to you, ma. Ẹ ṣé.
Thank you very much, ma, for that speech. Èmi Ọláwùmí, mi ò ní dalẹ̀ Yorùbá o. Ìwọ ńkọ́?
Èmi náà ò ní dalẹ̀ Yorùbá o.
All right. Lẹ́yìn eléyìí, let me see, kí ló tún kàn o. Okay. Àwọn tó máa ń bá wa ṣe appeal fund, mi ò rí wọn ní ìjókòó. Bàbá wa Raphael is not yet here. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Kọ́ládé Thomas, àwọn náà ò sí níkàlẹ̀. So I think we can skip that. Bóyá ìkan náà méjèèjì wọ́n máa darapọ̀ mọ́ wa láìpẹ́. A kọjá lọ láti wo fídíò Àwa Làgbà. Ṣùgbọ́n mo fẹ́ rọ̀ wá pé bá ṣe ń bá ètò lọ, ẹ jẹ́ ká túbọ̀ pín link, invitation link yẹn, àbí invite link yẹn. Bóyá, láti tún jẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn tún darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Torí àwọn kókó ọ̀rọ̀ tí a máa ń gbé yẹ̀wò níbí ní ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ tún bá wa pín láti fi rán àwọn èèyàn létí. Thank you very much. Fídíò Àwa Làgbà.
Àwa làgbà, àwa làgbà, adìyẹ funfun làgbà adìyẹ. Àwa làgbà. Ọmọ Yorùbá, ọmọ Oòduà, ọmọ odù tó dá ìwà, ẹ fura o, ìfura lóògùn àgbà. Pásá ò fura, pásá já, àjà ò fura, àjà dìn. Bónílé ò bá fura, olè ó kó. Ogun àwítẹ́lẹ̀ kì í parọ́ tó bá gbọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá. Ikú tó mọ̀ ń pọ́njú gbà ẹni, òwe ló ń pa fún ni. Ẹ dìde tẹ̀sán, ẹ dìde tọlọ́gun. Ẹ jí gìrì, ìgbàgbọ́ òkè àmọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ilé bàbá wa ọmọ Oòduà. Ẹ dìde bí alágbára, ìdágìrì kì í jámọ́ lẹ́yìn ẹkùn. Àsìkò tó ká sọ̀rọ̀ bí àwọn ará àtijọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wá ohun agbára àwọn bàbá ńlá wa. Ká dira wa lámùrè, ṣé àìrìnjìnà láàrá búkẹ́ ọ̀kẹ́rẹ́. Bàbá rìn jìnnà dáadáa, akàbí tí wọ́n gbé ń fọdọ̀ òbúlẹ̀ gúnyé jẹun. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ìwákùwà là wá ń tó bá sọnù. Ọ̀rọ̀ ti dójú ọ̀gbagadè. Kí kálukú yà tètè mọ̀ báyìí pé ọmọ Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ fìgbàdí kan ṣoṣo ṣègbànú. Ká pawọ́pọ̀ láti dáàbò bo ààbò àdúgbò abúlé àti olúùlú wa gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ló gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ báyìí pé gbogbo wa ti di ológun lọ́wọ́ tí ìlú wà báyìí o nítorí àtòkèrè lólójú títí tí mẹ́kún sùn igi gogoro má sì gbomi lójú àtòkèrè láti wò ọmọ Oòduà ó lè òní jà wá bẹ́ẹ̀ lógun òní kọ́ wa lẹ́rù lọ́wọ́ kẹkùlé ó gbọ́ kó sọ fún toko kádò ó gbọ́ kó lọ rò fún ọbẹ̀ pé lọ́wọ́ tí ìlú wà báyìí nínú ewu nílùú wà o gbogbo wa pátá la gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ pé a ti dológun láti lè dáàbò bo dúkìá àti ẹ̀mí àwọn èèyàn wa ó ti yá o ọmọ Yorùbá omi gbọ́nà ìpẹ́lẹ́nu bẹ́ẹ̀ ọwọ́ ìpẹ́nsà kéèké ẹjẹ́ jìgìrì káwá wọ̀rọ̀ kò fi ṣàdá kó tó pẹ́ o àbọ̀rọ̀ lásán fọmọlúàbí tó bá dénú rẹ̀ yóò dodidi Yorùbá Nation Global Directorate ló ń kéde fún gbogbo ọmọ Odù tó dá ìwà.
ẹ ṣeun ìkéde yẹn ó dàbí pé ojoojúmọ́ la nílò ẹ̀ láti máa gbọ́ ju bá a ti ṣe ń gbọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ pàápàá nítorí pé àwọn atiláàbí wọn ò sinmi gbogbo ìgbà la ń gbọ́ pé wọ́n ń ṣọṣẹ́ wọ́n ń pa àwọn kan bì kan wọ́n ń ṣèkan ó kàn lè dínkù díẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n wọn ò tí ì dáwọ́ dúró ó dẹ̀ máa ń ṣe ni láàánú pé ariwo náà la kàn máa ń pa pé wọ́n ṣe báyìí bí wọ́n ṣe báyìí bí mo rò pé wọ́n ti máa ń gbọ́ wípé to defend yourself is not a crime so but ó dàbí pé kò yé mi ìdí tí àti ẹ̀ fi lè defend ara wa mo wo fídíò kan lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta yìí wọ́n náà lọ kanlẹ̀kùn bá arákùnrin kan nílé wọ́n dẹ̀ gbé lọ òun ti fẹ́ escape ìgbà tí wọ́n wá ní wọ́n máa mú ìyàwó ẹ̀ he had to come back pé kán má mú ìyàwó òun wọ́n dẹ̀ wọ́ lọ inú igbó wọ́n náà pàdé àmọ̀tẹ́kùn lọ́nà àti bẹ́ẹ̀ 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 lọ but I think he made it náà ló ṣe lè wá ròyìn ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí mò ń gbọ́ I was like ìgbà wo la fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní defend ara wa lóòótọ́ ó lè wà easier said than done but kò kàn yẹ ká kàn máa wò wọ́n káwọn yẹn máa ṣe nǹkan tó ń ṣe kán dẹ̀ máa lọ scot free nígbà tí ò síjọba tó máa gbà wá so ó wá ò lè àwọn èèyàn wá wà so ìkéde yẹn ẹ jẹ́ kí a máa pín ẹ jẹ́ ká máa pín in our groups bóyá Facebook ní wherever kí àwọn ènìyàn wá lè máa gbọ́ kinní yẹn bóyá tí wọ́n bá ń gbọ́ á tún ta wọ́n jí pé a máa lè lajú sílẹ̀ a máa ń sọ pé kò yẹ ká lajú sílẹ̀ kí tàlùbọ̀ ó kó wọ̀ tá a bá jáfara àwọn pípù yìí àwa gan-an mo mọ̀ pé a lè má mọ nǹkan tán lè ṣe gangan but wọ́n ti fi hàn wá nǹkan táwọn tó tán lè ṣe so àdúrà ni à ń gbà ṣùgbọ́n a nílò láti ṣiṣẹ́ ti àdúrà yẹn pé káwọn èèyàn wa náà kán lè máa defend ara wọn so má bínú pé ọ̀rọ̀ mi pọ̀ orí Yomi Hamzat mo pé mo wo fídíò ẹ̀ náà ní àárọ̀ ìyá àbánu pé nǹkan tó tún ṣe nìbàdàn ní ìsìn wọn á wọṣọ sójà ìyẹn ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gan tẹ́lẹ̀ but I think ó tún ti wá pọ̀ sí nísìn so nínú fídíò yẹn bóyá èèyàn 4 àbí èèyàn 5 ló sọ pé àwọn ń wá báyìí nísìn tán lọ bá ń lé tán kanlẹ̀kùn àsójà wọ́n dẹ̀ wá wọn dé police station wọ́n wọn dé ibi àwọn sójà kan sọ pé àwọn ò mọ ohun tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ibì kan náà ti rí aṣọ tán wọ̀ so kí Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè kó ṣe àánú fún wa àdúrà tá à ń gbà gbogbo nìyẹn so ó ń kọjá àfaradà báyìí ẹ má kí n gbà wá ní àkókò Barrister Òkèdèǹgbé ẹ̀yin ni mo fẹ́ pè báyìí tí ẹ máa bá wa ṣe àfihàn àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n àti àwọn amòye tó máa bá wa fi ọgbọ́n àti òye gbé ọ̀rọ̀ tòní kalẹ̀.
ẹ ṣé gan, thank you very much Mrs. Apada. wín ní ìran ìwín tó ní ìran tó bá ní àsìkò tá a ní ìdí ìrìn àsìkò yẹn la wà yìí.
ẹ má wọrí.
àsìkò yẹn la wà yìí because gbọ́dọ̀ wọ́n ní whoever is not proud of his color is not or his language or heritage is not fit to live. Ìran Yorùbá ló ń jẹ́ Ògún, Ògèdè, Ṣàngó, Bíyì, gbogbo ẹ̀. So your name is a very beautiful name. Thank God for our brother who actually devote that name to us. So gbogbo àwọn iwin yẹn pátápátá tẹ̀ bá ti bọ wọn for a long time. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ lọ bá ṣe abolition síbẹ̀. Kẹ́ bá wa appease wọn. We need them in Yorùbá land. Lásìkò tá a wà yìí. Wọ́n ní náání ọmọ ṣẹ́gìtà ó náání èpo igi. So we thank God for our beautiful heritage. Ẹ ṣé gan Mr. Wood ọmọ tẹ́tú àṣírí wọn fún mi.
Kẹ́ ready láti gbé àwọn garawa epo màálù àtoríṣiríṣi nǹkan tá a fi appease wọn.
Agbára Ọlọ́run ká gbogbo ẹ̀. Appease wọn. But the most important thing ni pé ẹ má bínú gbogbo ilé o. The most important thing is we are who we are. We hold nobody explanation or apology for who we are. Mo workshop kan ní Ilford in 1993. I was able to remember that because ọmọ ọwọ́ ni ọmọ mi obìnrin wà gbà yẹn. Mo dẹ̀ rí Asian ní àárọ̀ kùtùkùtù tó ń sín gbẹ́rẹ́ sórí. I saw them. Ìyá kan jókòó, ìkan dúró sẹ́yìn ó dẹ̀ ń sín gbẹ́rẹ́ sí nǹkan tá à ń pè ní gbẹ́rẹ́ yẹn. Àwa sá fún ẹ lè lọ Chinese restaurant nílùú Ìkẹ́màrí Dragon Ìkẹ́màrí wo nǹkan tó ń ṣe. So I think we were saying going back to our roots. That's exactly what we're talking about. We didn't arrive where we are by carrying any holy objects from foreign land. Àwọn bàbá wa tó ń fi ogun tó ń fi òpin sógun a rí wọn. Wọ́n ní èèyàn sùn láàyè tabakú là ń dèrè. Ó lójú Yorùbá land káàtì rí èrè wọn. Aṣọ ogun náà wọ̀, aṣọ ogun tí wọ́n wọ̀ kán lè fi gbà wá. So if we are recipient of those things, táwa ń sá síbi kan tó jẹ́ pé pastor gan-an ó lo bodyguard. Pastor gan lo nǹkan sábẹ́ agbádẹ́. Ẹ má jàre ká má múra wá gan. So àwọn iwin yẹn jọba release wọn, á ra màálù fún wọn. Ẹ ṣé gan. Mo rò pé mo ti pull arms yín tó. Mo mọ̀ kí brother mi máa dá sí létí Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. Ẹ ṣé gan. God bless you. And mentioning his name, I think it would be appropriate to just bring him on board straight away. Ẹ ṣé gan. Our brother wa Odunwa wọn kì í ṣe àìmọ̀fólókó ẹmọ orúkọ wọn, but for the benefit of those who may be joining us for the first time, his name is Samson, not Akao. Samson. Ẹni tí àwọn ọlọ̀tẹ̀, àwọn tí wọ́n finú fẹ́ Yorùbá, tán fi ẹnu fẹ́ Yorùbá, tán bá gbọ́ ohùn ẹ̀, tán máa ń gbọ̀n ẹ̀rù jẹ̀jẹ̀ níwájú aṣebi. So we thank the Almighty God for using him and making him available to the service of our people. You are welcome on board, my brother. God bless you.
Ẹ ṣeun.
Mo níṣẹ́ ní ẹni fi ọ̀rọ̀ àjàsà sí Mrs. Winiran. Abẹ́ẹ̀kan fẹ́ spare wọn, Mrs. Winiran.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ó yá kí ni question yín?
Wọ́n lẹ̀ mo ní Mrs. Winiran, mo ní kán kó àwọn ẹbọra àwọn iwin tó wà nílé yẹn. Kán fa àwọn service ní.
Ọlọ́run á fún wa ṣe.
Àṣẹ o, àṣẹ. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀. Mo rò pọ́n wà lọ́lé ní but kíní yìí bíi bug ni. Ó máa ń dàbẹ̀ ó dáa kéèyàn wà hook on what is good. The Bible says whatever is good, whatever is pure, whatever is holy, whatever is commendable and worthy of praise, only we should set our mind on this thing. A dúpẹ́ pé a rí àwọn olùfọkànsìn. Màmá wa wà láàrin wa. Màmá wa Sandra púpọ̀ láòbí wọ́n wà láàrin wa lónìí. So a dúpẹ́ fún oore ọ̀fẹ́ tá a ní. Màmá ẹ̀dẹ̀ ṣe ẹ kú gbogbo ìgbà. We thank you. Ṣé mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run ṣàánú fún mi? Èmi pẹ̀lú brother mi àjọ sọ̀rọ̀ during the week. Wọ́n ní mo admire àwọn arúgbó wa wípé nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé I was in Nigeria and I discovered the 80 years old, 90 years old. Bí memory wọn bó ṣe fresh jẹ́ pé nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ 50 years ago wọ́n rántí ẹ̀. Brother mi sọ fún mi ó ní ẹ̀ kí n má múra mi gan. Wọ́n ní wọ́n like láti rántí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ years before ju nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí lọ torí mo kàn pé kí ló ṣe mí pé mo ti ń jọ̀tí nǹkan dáhùn sí máa ń gbàgbé mo máa ń gbàgbé nǹkan àfi tí n bá kọ sílẹ̀ wọ́n ní mo á give àwọn example bàbá yẹn wọ́n ní rọ́ wọ́n tẹ̀mí náà bá dé èjì wọn mo rántí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ 50 years na nǹkan tó imply nìyẹn so ẹ má bínú pé mo rò pé ti wà lọ́lọ́dé ni but gbàdúrà mo lórúkọ yín mo ní mo ṣe wàá rántí àwọn dates ẹ sọ. Thank you.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni, thank you so much. Ẹ káàsán everybody. Mi ní lè pẹ́ ní as well. Mo
Okay.
láti lọ very quickly soon. Ẹ
Okay.
ṣé.
That's fine. Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé gan. Mo notice bàbá wa Tàlàbí wọ́n wà nínú ayọ́kẹ́lẹ́ tí mo mọ̀ pọ́n lọ bìkan ni ṣé bàbá ṣé kò ṣẹ́yìn lẹ́ ń drive o? Ẹ wà mí check sir.
Wọ́n bọ̀ láti Ìjẹ̀bú.
Ìjẹ̀bú.
Mo wà ní Express.
Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ ẹ káàbọ̀ ẹ kú rìn sir. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí you're welcome sir.
Mo wà ní Express Ìbàdàn. So mo ń bọ̀ lé.
Okay, ẹ jẹ́ kí n pe àwọn ìyàwó ẹ
Thank
jẹ́ kí
you
n
very
pe
much.
àwọn
God
Ìjẹ̀bú.
bless you. Ẹ ṣé.
Olúwa ṣeun, thank you sir. Báwo ni ṣe àlàáfíà gbogbo ilé wa sir?
Olúwa ṣeun. A dúpẹ́.
Olúwa ṣeun. Ìyálòde tí màmá wa tí mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ porúkọ wọn bá wa jáwé lé lórí màmá wa Rebecca Oyèlọ́lá tí wọ́n já ewé àkókò lẹ́yìn lórí ìyàwó Ìjẹ̀bú.
Ìyàwó Ìjẹ̀bú, ìyálóde.
Àwọn àna yín ti lọ wọlé o, wọ́n bá yín ṣẹ̀kì ilé wọn lálàáfíà lẹ́bọ̀dé wà o. Àbí?
Shine for life.
Kò sí wàhálà. Ẹ káàbọ̀ mà.
Wọ́n
For
ṣẹ̀kì
life.
water yam. Wọ́n á jù sí yín sìstá.
Kò sí wàhálà.
Barrister Tàlàbí lọ kó mú wọn kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin bùtù wọn water yam ló wà bẹ́ẹ̀ sùn.
Àṣejẹ̀bú ni Barrister Tàlàbí náà ni.
Ìkọ́kọrẹ́.
Kí ló dé tí gbogbo yín jẹ́ Jẹ̀bú kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
Ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń rìn.
Ìjẹ̀bú ni o.
Ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń rìn. Àbí
Àwa là ń rè.
ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń rìn náà. Wọ́n wá ní igun ńlá ní gbẹ̀yìn ìkàlẹ̀. Bàbá wa tí wọ́n lọ́pọlọ tí wọ́n tún tọ́jú àwọn tí kò lọ́pọlọ. Wọ́n ní the party is not over until the fat man has graced the stage. So thank God pé bàbá wa ò ní sọ pé àwọn ni mò ń ta sí torí mo mọ̀ pé wọ́n fat. Bàbá trim. Àbí bàbá sì trim. You're welcome sir. Dr.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni o, ẹ ṣé.
Thank you.
Màmá wa nìkan mi wà á lè recognize mi báyìí o. Màmá wa Sandra Pópóọlá OBE. Èmi ò recognize picture tèmi rí yìí o.
Wọ́n lọ
Nítorí gèlè ni.
Wọ́n lọ Jẹ̀búlẹ̀ ni mi.
Apparently wọ́n lọ sí Jẹ̀bú bẹ́ẹ̀ bí mo ń wo picture yẹn mo ń wò wọ́n. Mo níta ni woman yìí.
Wọ́n lọ Jẹ̀bú ni o.
Okay, ẹ káàbọ̀ everybody. Ẹ kú ilé rather because I came in late. Ẹ lẹ̀ mọ́ ẹ káàsán. Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn kíkí la kí.
Ẹ káàsán sà.
No problem, ma.
Barrister Tàlàbí mo kí yín o. Màmá mi Victoria, the king of king, mo tún kí ẹ̀yin náà o. Láti Jẹ̀bú.
You can.
Ẹjọ́ ta ló ń sọ̀rọ̀? Ta ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ ń bẹ̀ yẹn? Ẹ ṣé gan, thank you very much. Wọ́n ní ká má mú òkú lọ sílé olóró. Ká lè má fi ọ̀pá pọ̀lọpọ̀lọ péjọ. Gbogbo aláti rí nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lénìí. A lè máa wò pé some may be thinking kí ló kan Yorùbá pẹ̀lú ilé yìí.
I'm taking this too.
Ẹjọ́ sísá Yẹ́misí ọ̀dọ́ yín. Mo ti bẹ́ẹ̀ sísá for a while. Yes, ẹ jẹ́ kí n ṣe introduction. Mo mọ̀ pé a ti gbọ́ gbogbo nǹkan tí màmá wa the directory wọ́n kà. The case of Sunday Johnson from Adamawa State remind us of Yoruba dictum. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, please.
Ṣé Johnson ni àbí Jackson?
Mute ara yín, please. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, mute ara yín. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, this is very, very serious. Ẹ jẹ́ ká mute ara wa. I'll start all over again. The case of Sunday Johnson from Adamawa reminds us of the Yoruba dictum, which says, ikú tó ń pa ojúgbà ẹni, òwe ara ló ń pa fún ni. The fundamental principle of justice dictates that every individual has the right to protect their life when threatened. Yet today, we find ourselves grappling with the paradox of a legal system that in some cases punishes individuals who are in self-defense, with the ultimate penalty being death. This forum is not just about discussing the legal intricacies of self-defense under Nigerian law. It is about confronting the realities of a system that may sometimes fail the very people it's meant to protect. That is the Christians and the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. To further buttress my postulation, I think it may be appropriate to address some of us that haven't had the update on what is going on in Nigeria just not long after Dele Farotimi publication challenging the legal system in Nigeria. Mo rò pé ó ṣe pàtàkì ká wo video from Arise TV. We don't have a copyright of the video, but since we're not profiting from it and we are only supporting that which we are doing, so the principle of fair usage will be applicable, and hopefully we will not get penalized for reinforcing the particular incident that we know particular about. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo video yìí, mi ò ní play gbogbo ẹ̀ tán, but a little bit of it.
Now, you may not have heard of him, but Sunday Jackson, a former student in his early 30s, is facing death by hanging after Nigeria's Supreme Court today upheld the judgment of a lower court in Adamawa State. Mr. Jackson was a student turned farmer who says he was violently attacked on his farm in Kodomti Forest in the Newman local government area in Adamawa State by a Fulani herdsman known as Buba Bawuro. The herdsman had strayed into Mr. Jackson's farm with his animals, and after Mr. Jackson challenged him, he apparently pulled a knife and a fight ensued. He stabbed Mr. Jackson a couple of times, but he managed to retrieve the knife and to stab his attacker in the neck, whereupon he died. Mr. Jackson was arrested and charged with murder. He's consistently argued that it was self-defense. In 2021, he was found guilty by a court in Yola and condemned to death by hanging. And today, the Supreme Court in Abuja upheld that judgment. So he's now in a race for his life, and the only option left is to appeal for clemency from the governor of Adamawa State. So what hope does he now have of a reprieve?
Stop worrying if the price will go up or down. If you compare the price of...
That's the news, and there are more things that a man could have said. Yorùbá ní ohun tó bá jọun la fi ń wéra wọn. Epo ẹ̀pà pẹ̀lú kúsì ẹ̀lérí wọn yàtọ̀. And earlier we said àrùn tó ṣogójì òun ló ṣọ̀ọ́dúnrún, ohun tó bá ṣe ọlọ́yàdé gbogbo lọ́yà ló ṣe. Àwọn wo ló wà at the center of this injustice and oppression? The Fulani people, the aliens from Futajalon region, no Wambe, again. And I'd like to state this statement and adhere the consequence. I'm aware that Atiku Abubakar is seeking to be the president of Nigeria. We're pleading with him to interfere in this particular case. If he doesn't do anything about this particular individual who happened to be a Christian and a member of the ethnic nationality in Nigeria, we will take it that he is also in support of the covert Fulani agenda. And Nigeria could not therefore entrust, even though we are going out, entrust the governance of that nation into his hand. So at the moment, every one of us, home and abroad, we're talking about seeking a prerogative of mercy on behalf of that gentleman who acted in self-defense. So we want our political class, the Obas, to speak up at this time. We pay a million kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣòfò níbi pé ó ń protect ara ẹni. And not only that, brother wa tó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ikú Abíọ́lá is been in prison ever since. They've just only discovered that he's been locked up. Nobody heard about it. I particularly haven't heard about it until recently. We shared the video earlier on. So tá a bá wo epo ẹ̀pà pẹ̀lú pósí ẹ̀lérí, á rí i pé wọ́n jọra wọn. Àwọn olódè wà ní sẹ́ńtà nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí, Fúlàní. Now, nǹkan tá a fẹ́ wò lé ni is the legality, the legal perspective ni first question. And ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ́ béèrè ìbéèrè àkọ́kọ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá wa Tàlàbí. Bí n pé wọ́n jẹ́ amòfin tí wọ́n set a pace fún wa. Then àwọn màmá wa náà, bàbá wa, wọ́n á lè sọ opinion wọn. Bàbá, I wrote few questions down in respect of this because nǹkan tí mo fi pé ó máa jẹ gbogbo wa lógún pátápátá ni. Let me read out my first question. Does Nigerian law provide clear protection for self-defense? And was it properly applied in this case? The fact of the case, there are things that every lawyer should have been taught, which I'm sure you know, is APC. Principle, application, and cases, the case law. The principle to establish, the principle to establish an application of it, and the case law, meaning the judicial authority in respect of that. If you look at those three things, would you say the court has done the appropriate thing? Have they applied the law properly? We know the factors that must feature when you accuse somebody of murder. Two things must be present: the actor's rea, the mens rea, and in the absence of malice aforethought, which we believe has been presented before the court, and considering the fact that this incident actually took place in his own farm, it wasn't the assailant. The rationale, the ratio, in the ratio decidendi, the reason for the decision, the judge pronounced, they said he should have fled from the scene. What is your take, sir? Was the law properly applied? Barrister Talabi.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
In a normal system, níbi tí ìlú tòrò, níbi tí ìjọba ti jẹ́ ìjọba, tí ò sí partiality, tí ò sí pé ìjọba ń gbèsè èèyàn kan, ní gbogbo principle of reason of the judgment and all those things will apply. But ìlú ru Nàìjíríà tó jẹ́ pé adájọ́ ń dájọ́ tó wù ní, also when he has a power behind him, ó kàn máa dá bó ṣe wù, àbí kẹ̀ bó ṣe gbọ́ instruction tó gbọ́, àbí power tó wà behind there ló máa dá láti favour. The judgment is to ordinary person in anywhere in the world is not applied correctly because there is power of self-defense. There is a law of self-defense. You need to defend yourself. You can't fold your hand till you are killed by somebody. You need to protect yourself with any means of protecting yourself or protecting your family. But in this case, it's not well applied. To me, to my reason, from all experience I've got in the legal system, it's not properly employed because wọ́n wá bá lóko ẹ̀ ni, kì í ṣe pé òun ló lọ bá wọn.
Thank you.
So, irú ìwà báyìí is not good in a good society. And I'm shocked. This Supreme Court not only upheld the same reason is very bad. But what can ordinary person say? Jọba.
Thank you, sir. Eshe.
Tíjọba bá pa ó pa gbé. That's not it's not in a civilized country.
I see. And I'd like to mention also, the fact of the case also revealed the Fulani guy actually stabbed him in the leg. And the Supreme Court are saying that he should have fled. How can a man who is fighting for his life, who undoubtedly must be going through excruciating pain, who was stabbed in the leg, these are some of the things. So, Dr. Ifule, do you think the judgment, based on what you've heard about this matter, was applied, the law was applied appropriately in this case? Meet sir.
Yeah, actually,
Thank you, sir.
the law was applied appropriately.
Okay.
Very, very, very appropriately. As long as we are looking at the narrow view of civilized norm, Lalibani people were applied appropriately. We have to go back into history. And I know that's not what you're asking me, but allow me to just make mention of something that happened 1903.
Okay, sir.
1902. Hausa man, Hausa woman, walking down the street of Kano. A vagabond Fulani man saw the woman's rear end, backside there. I'm legally married to this woman, according to Sharia. Why are you going to do that? You're that guy, on the spot. Was the law Fulani? Can't we see? It's the same thing here. As far as the rulers of Nigeria were concerned in 1902, as far as they are concerned in 2021, Sunday here, the law was properly applied. Fulani rules. Can't you see? That's the bigger picture. Sharing Bobo legality, with all due respect to Bobo lawyers to Wambi, if you're looking at legality, you're just wasting your time. Yes, the law was properly applied. Applied by the Fulani for the Fulani. I mean, what are those bastards doing? Rush Bobo Fulani, you can wipe them out. That's the question I want to ask. So back to you.
Thank you very much. We'll get your point here, and I'm sure other people will see that also. Amotekun, what do you think?
Mo máa kọ́kọ́ béèrè question kan lọ́wọ́ Dr. Oyefule. Kí ni outcome case yẹn ní ti Fulani tó gún Hausa? Ṣó dé court? What happened?
Ṣé 1902 tàbí ti ilé ìtìsẹ̀ lọ? Ó ti wọ́n ti ẹ̀ mú rárá. That was the rule of the Fulani then, and it's still the rule of the Fulani now. Wọ́n ti ẹ̀ mú rárá at all. And you cannot go to the Kano emir láti lọ ní pé ẹjọ́ wọ́n pa ẹ̀gbọ́n mi nítorí wọ́n fẹ́ bá ìyàwó ẹ̀ sùn kò dẹ̀ gbà. No, you couldn't even have the guts to do that. So the same way tí poor man Sunday ní guts láti ní kó máa defend ara òun against the Fulani. That's the Fulani law. Until we realize that we're living under the hegemony of the Fulani, until we understand that, we're just wasting our time. This guy will do anything. Yeah, back to you, Amotekun.
Ṣeun sir. Practically, between àná àti àárọ̀ yìí, for a grown man and for somebody to believe pé mo strong, bí ẹni tó sunkún mọ́jú ni. Because kí n tó sùn lánàá, as I usually do, mo máa ń try láti jókòó kí n kàn look outside the world, kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní all over. And then mo rí updates lórí nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ní Syria. And the way humans can become so savagely, ẹ̀rù ẹ̀ ń bà mí. I am really, really afraid. But problem tí mi máa ń ní ni pé tí n bá ti sunkún síwájú tó bá ti di later on tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀, téèyàn bá ti pèpè bí ìpè Noah's Ark, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbá kínní mu kó tó di pé ó dé stage tó wà obvious pé ó ń lọ. Táwọn èèyàn ò bá gbọ́ tó bá ti wá di later on, somebody like me, torí pé mo ti sunkún yẹn sẹ́yìn, á wá dàbẹ́ ni pé mo wà immune sí, ó máa dàbẹ́ ni pé kéèyàn wà indifferent. Problem tá a ní lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ó mọ máa escalate ni, it will be getting worse. Níwòyí 5 years ago, as far as I can remember, kì í ṣe constant thing wípé ká máa gbọ́ wípé wọ́n ń da ẹran wọ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. But nísìnyí, it's almost every week là ń gbọ́ report kan pé ó ṣẹlẹ̀. Tí ò bá jẹ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá, á jẹ́ agbègbè kan tó súnmọ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, or something of the shadow of this illness tó ń wá láti ọwọ́ àwọn people yìí, ó máa fi ara hàn. Like Dr. Yefule rightly said, there are 2 laws in play lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí. System ẹnìkan. Adé mi nìkan ni mò ń gbọ́ ni, ṣé mi nìkan ni mò ń gbọ́ ni?
Ọmọ ọba Adélékè. Àti correct. Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀.
So there are 2 laws in play here, at least 2 laws. There's one law tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n constitute, wọ́n draft, wọ́n ṣe whatever tá a bá fẹ́ pè, which should be the only law tó yẹ kó apply. But there's another law tí Fúlàní ní tí wọ́n dẹ̀ believe nínú ẹ̀ completely. Now, in both cases, the Fulani is right. Judgments don't pass fún Sunday Jackson is right, because in their own law, Christian kò ní rights láti pa Fulani. Fulani ní rights láti pa Christian. And it doesn't matter, wọ́n máa vary law yẹn whichever way tó bá suit wọn. Things are getting worse. Nísìnyí, we are seeing videos of intentional disturbance of other people's business. Tó bá jẹ́ mistake náà fi ń da ẹran wọnú oko olóko. It's absurdity ni kéèyàn kan tiẹ̀ kàn believe nìyẹn. But now it's getting to the case wípé ó ti ń common sí pé kán wa ẹ̀gẹ́ ẹlẹ́gẹ̀ẹ́ kán dẹ̀ máa bẹ́ sí ẹnu màálù wọn kó máa jẹ. Àwọn kíní tó ń ṣe yìí, wọ́n ń ṣe intentionally ni láti lé wa, kán condense wa sójú kan. Ibi tó jẹ́ pé ó máa wà dense, so now they can deal with what they want to do quite easily. Kán máa dẹ́rù bà àwọn èèyàn. Now, going back to the case of justice or no justice, àti ní problem yẹn bọ̀ ti pẹ́. Growing up, mo máa ń rántí ìgbà yẹn pé tí wọ́n bá mólè, wọ́n máa ju táyà sí lọ́rùn. Kí ló lead wa sí débẹ̀ yẹn? Now, nísìnyí, ó ti change a different direction. Justice system tó yẹ pé kò gbádùn tẹ́lẹ̀. Nísìnyí, hegemony kan tún ti wá compound ẹ̀. And we the people, maybe they were right láti kọ constitution lẹ́yìn wa, because we are not actively challenging these situations. So, possibility wípé ó máa get worse at our own disfavor is getting higher. nísìnyí àti gbọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ yìí pé wọ́n máa mú àwọn obìnrin wa nínú oko ká tó rí 5 years tá a bá continue báyìí wọ́n máa wọ ìlú wá wọ́n máa wọlé onílé wọ́n máa mú ọmọ ẹ̀ lójú ẹ̀ tó bá sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n á gún ẹ pa. I'm trying to add what is happening now àti nǹkan tí Dr. Oyefule sọ tẹ́lẹ̀. This is where we're going. Now mo sọ fún yín pé mo wo Syria, mo ń wo story Syria, mo ń wo ti Gaza, mo ń wo ti Yemen, mo ń wo ti all of those nations. Nǹkan táwọn people yẹn ń ṣe fúnra wọn. Ẹni tí wàá máa dúrà gbà ẹ tètè máa gbàdúrà yẹn báyìí. Because bá ṣe ń lọ yín sìn ó dàbí pé ká máa dà free lọ sí Holocaust ni and dà free lọ because nobody is trying to rein these people in. And they've taken over our justice system. They've taken over our legislature. They've taken over our economy. What do we have left? And vehicle tó ń lò láti fi ṣe kíní yẹn, there's so much belief in it. Maybe ká má sọ pé believe. Àwọn kan wà tó yẹ pé wọ́n ń push wọn lórí ẹ̀ tó yẹ pé àwọn náà dẹ̀ ń take order yẹn. They've been brainwashed to believe wípé àwọn láti jẹ́ mi fẹ́ lo term torí orí YouTube ni. Tó di pé now we are growing terrorists. Individuals are becoming terrorists. Àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń jáde lẹ́nu wọn àti ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń jáde lẹ́nu ni terrorism ti máa ń bẹ̀rẹ̀. It's not the actual physical battle. Àbí ká máa gbé lóǹdì. We are in a very, very bad place. So maybe we shouldn't even be talking about the justice system, because that's gone. It's gone. From our point of view, ni miscarriage. From their point of view, they are doing what God has told them to do. So, justice system is just a shame. It's quite obvious. It's quite blatant. Wípé nǹkan tá a gbọ́ tí presenter yẹn sọ kò sọ. Ordinarily, he's a professional journalist. Nǹkan tí wọ́n surmise kúrò nínú court ni ẹni yẹn sọ. The last part tí mi rò pé a gbọ́ ni wípé ìṣe ló yẹ kó sá lọ ni. Kúrò lórí farm ẹ̀. So where's the justice? Where's the protection? Toraman sọ wípé the first priority of government is to protect its people. And it's not just the people, property, one on it. So one protect farming, one protect unfurai. He came under the attack of a person. Any egg try to defend that. Gba ọ̀bẹ yẹn, de gun ẹni yẹn kú. And then he's the one who's going to be hanged. Eléyìí tí kọjá miscarriage of justice o. Ẹ ṣeun.
Thank you. Okay, ma. Ṣèṣàyẹ̀míṣẹ́. Mo fẹ́ wá ṣèṣàyẹ̀míṣẹ́ control organ. Every question which is very important. What do we have left? Mo fẹ́ kàn sọ fún gbogbo wa wípé Yorùbá ní tó bá kú ọwọ́ kan àdán á fi rọgí. We are all we have left. Ara wa la nílẹ̀.
Barrister.
Yes, sister.
Mi mọ̀ bóyá wọ́n máa lè jẹ́ kí n sọ̀rọ̀ torí mò ń lọ lókun títì ní mọ́tò ń kọjá torí mi ò wá ní mọ́tò.
Okay.
I would really want to contribute, but when I get home, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Torí inú ń bí mi seriously sí àwọn olórí burúkú tó pera wọn ní Fúlàní.
Okay. Ẹ ṣé. So nǹkan tí mo sọ lọ kí sísá tó wà ní pé a ní ara wa wọ́n dẹ̀ ní aláṣiṣe ló mọ àṣìṣe ààrẹ. Ẹ jẹ́ kí màmá wa Sandra Kúpọ̀lá Obi káwọn náà bá wa sọ opinion wọn.
Hmm.
Ó wà jẹ́.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ káàsán gbogbo ilé. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ó ṣe kinní ó nípọn. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ ti sọ̀rọ̀ níwájú wọ́n ti yànnàná ẹ̀ dáadáa. Ṣe rí nǹkan tí Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn stop láti identify or kan sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ ni pé àkọsílẹ̀ ni o àkọsílẹ̀ òun ni gbogbo wa ń wò báyìí níwájú wa tó wá dàbẹ̀ ni pé a ní agbára kankan láti change course of direction. Kí ló dẹ̀ fà á? Ibi tí àwọn righteous people bá wà tí wọ́n bá gbé ojú sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ tí wọn ò sọ̀rọ̀ nígbà tí ó yẹ kán sọ̀rọ̀ tí wọn ò ṣe nígbà tí ó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ibi tá a ti máa bára wa rèé o. Dr. Oyefule sọ̀rọ̀ pé 1902 ṣe báwọn èèyàn kan ni wọ́n gbélé ayé ń gbà yẹn láàárín wọn àwọn tó jẹ́ pé ó máa ká lára pérú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ìlú tí wọ́n pè ní whatever tán pé ìlú yẹn ń gbà náà torí kò ń ṣe Nàìjíríà ń gbà yẹn ṣe báwọn èèyàn kan wọ́n máa gbọ́ ń pa ẹ̀ wọn ò dìde wọn ò sọ̀rọ̀ wọn ò condemn ẹ̀ bọ́dẹ̀ sọ bóyá wọn ò gbọ́ wọn ni wọn ò dẹ̀ lè ṣe nǹkan kan sí wọ́n dẹ̀ fi sílẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ ń wò wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́ kó máa lọ bó ṣe ń lọ. The same thing náà ni nísìnyí o tá a bá wò gbogbo àwọn tó righteous bí mùsùlùmí ni wọ́n ni o bí kìrìsìtẹ́nì ni wọ́n ni o bí oníṣẹ̀ṣe ni wọ́n ni o tí wọ́n wà ní ipò tó jẹ́ pé tí wọ́n bá sọ̀rọ̀ ayé á gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ á mọ̀ àwọn èèyàn á dúró pé àwọn èèyàn yìí sọ̀rọ̀ wọn ò sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Sunday o wọn ò sọ̀rọ̀ síta nípa Sunday mi ò rí kí wọ́n lọ sanwó fún àwọn tó máa gbé placards kiri àwọn protesters tó máa protest pé nǹkan tí wọ́n ṣe yìí ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó ní Supreme Court tó pè rẹ̀ Supreme Court of Nigeria èmi ò rí o so kíní yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn ṣe describe ẹ̀ is almost like a runaway avalanche. It's not even a train. It's an avalanche. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. The stable is unbolted. The horse is away with us. But kí la fẹ́ ṣe ẹni ara wa ló kù. Ara wa tó kù yẹn ṣé alágbára ṣá. The only agbára ta ní nísìn which is becoming well known is not àwa tó kù ní Nàìjíríà àbí Nigerians tó wà ní diaspora. Gbogbo àgbáyé la láti pariwo sí. That is why I am so happy pẹ̀lú nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Senate, US Senate nísìn. Even though àwọn yẹn náà ní tiwọn lọ́wọ́ wọn dì mẹ́rù. Ó dẹ̀ láìkí kó jẹ́ pé àwọn náà ti fọwọ́ nínú gbogbo nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí tó fi di bó ṣe rí nsìn. Ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ti dìde wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ at least èyí tó wá sọ̀rọ̀ sókè fún Sunday Jackson tó ti ìlú ẹ̀ wá sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn ó ti gbé Nàìjíríà sí orí ìpè pé ó yá gbogbo ayé ẹ wo nǹkan tó ń lọ níbẹ̀ because tí irọ́ bá lọ lógún ọdún òtítọ́ àbá ń bẹ̀ ní 1902 wọ́n ṣe wọ́n mú jẹ 2025 wọ́n ṣé wọ́n máa mú jẹ ṣá àti lè sọ a ṣì wà ní 2025 nítorí pé ń sìn àgbáyé ó ti kéré compare sí 1902 tó yẹ pé bóyá àwọn villagers ẹnìkan ló gbọ́n pa ẹ̀ pé ó pa ìyàwó níyàwó gba ìyàwó níyàwó pa ọkọ ẹ̀ but nísìn gbogbo àgbáyé ń wò gbogbo àgbáyé ń ríran nǹkan tó dẹ̀ ń ṣẹlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà yìí Nàìjíríà nìkan kọ́ ló ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn sọ lẹ́ǹkan pé gbà táwọn wo happenings across the world in some certain areas he saw things tó kan wọ́n lóminú pé níbo láyé ń bá lọ yìí báyìí. So kí la lè ṣe nípa ẹ̀ tá a bá come back sọ̀rọ̀ Sunday Jackson yìí. Ṣé clemency ló yẹ kó máa béèrè fún ni? Torí àwọn tó ń tiẹ̀ sọ pé kó máa béèrè fún clemency, it's almost like they also believe that he was guilty. And therefore, ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀bẹ̀ fún. Bẹ̀bẹ̀ fún what? For what? For protecting himself, his life. He was confronted. It was not premeditated murder. The worst case, it was manslaughter. Does manslaughter mean hanging? Death sentence? What kind of level of judgment do we have in a place called Nigeria, the space called Nigeria? So ṣe jẹ́ pé gbogbo nǹkan dorí kodò. Àwọn èèyàn kan ní pé ká má sọ̀rọ̀ pé èṣù pé kò ń ṣe èṣù. Bó jẹ́ èṣù, bó jẹ́ Sátánì. Something ain't right. Sátánì, tó bá jẹ́ Sátánì la fẹ́ pè. Sátánì is eating with us. Is sleeping with us. Is waking with us. A whole moral decadence is amongst us. Because I'll go back to what I said. The righteous were looking away. Nǹkan tó máa jẹ ni wọ́n ń wá. Báyé wọ́n ti máa dá ni wọ́n ń wá. Ẹ má mind ayé àwọn ọmọ mi. Kò sí tó kàn wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹ́ mọ̀. And that is still going on. Tá bá wo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Senate nísìn tí èèyàn kan sọ pé àwọn ọmọ mi o, ọkùnrin mẹ́rin, obìnrin mẹ́rin ọmọ mi o. It's about you. You, and not the other women, the other daughters of other people. Sátánì ti wọ̀lú. Bá ṣe máa lè lọ, I don't think so. Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn sọ̀rọ̀ àdúrà. A máa sọ pé bí àdúrà kọ́ ni gbogbo nǹkan. But nígbà tí nǹkan bá pèèyàn lẹ́mìí, tó bá kọjá agbára èèyàn, ta la fẹ́ pè sí bí ó bá kí ń ṣe aṣẹ̀dá èèyàn. Ọba ọ̀run tó dá gbogbo wa, tó dẹ̀ mọ gbogbo wa, òun ló lágbára ju gbogbo wa lọ. That's who we call. Because right now is the end. It is the end. It's written. Nígbà tí òpin ayé bá dé, a máa rí oríṣiríṣi tó jẹ́ pé àrírí ẹ̀rù dẹ̀ máa bà wá. Ṣùgbọ́n mo fẹ́ ká sọ to end what I'm going to say. Ẹni tí ọwọ́ ẹ̀ bá mọ́, tí ọkàn ẹ̀ mọ́, kó má bẹ̀rù. Kó má bẹ̀rù. Because there will be judgment. Tí ọwọ́ ẹ̀ bá mọ́, tí ọkàn ẹ̀ mọ́, tí ò ṣe ọmọ làkejì ẹ ní búburú, má bẹ̀rù. Even tí kú bá dé, má bẹ̀rù. I will leave it as that. Ẹ ṣé.
Thank you. Ẹ ṣé gan. Sherry, the Constitution is something that we've challenged. On the 16th December 2021, I think 2021, when the constitutional force majeure was declared, raised a lot of questions about the 1999 Constitution as amended. But since gbogbo wa ṣe ń carry on under the Constitution, I think it's appropriate to put certain things in perspective. Irú case yìí, number one, the first question was that the law in Nigeria wasn't appropriately applied, even as highly repudiated as it is. That law wasn't even appropriately applied. That's number one. Because an average person who is not a Yoruba nation activist, àwọn nǹkan tó máa interest wọn làwọn nǹkan tá à ń discuss yìí, the legality of it. A lot of people look at it pé kí lè fẹ́ kàn sọ ìbí Yorùbá náà nation náà fẹ́, well, a fẹ́ Yorùbá nation, but at the same time, what this is telling us is this is not how we will govern our own nation. Our initiative wa bẹ́ẹ̀. But whilst we're still Yoruba Nigerian, we will let people know. Wọ́n ní awífúnni kó tó lani, àgbà ìjà ni. Ó ń bọ̀, àwọn náà dẹ̀dẹ̀, àwọn tiwa tó justify reason tá a fi lè bá wọn ṣe. Òun la ṣe analyze òfin tiwọn tó máa yàtọ̀ fún tiwa. So the next thing that we want to know, we want to put on record for posterity is, Dr. Yefule, was the process fair and unbiased, or were there factors like corruption, political pressure, or society bias that influenced the verdict? I'll make an answer. So we've dealt with the application of the law in the particular case. We're now looking at judicial fairness.
Yes.
Was the process fair, unbiased? Well, or the factors that led to the decision, things like corruption, political pressure, or societal bias? Ṣáwọn nǹkan tó influence the decision nìyẹn.
Well, societal bias no lo influence it mostly. However, you have to understand that there are two societies tó wà at play ní ìgbà tí initial adájọ́ dá ẹjọ́ yẹn. There's a Fulani law and what to apply to wọn àti what to apply to others. As far as what applies to others was concerned, the law was not properly played out. The judge was wrong, loudly so. You have to stop. The law was, as far as the general population was concerned, the law was flawed. Well, the judge was wrong. WRONG. The judge was wrong. But as far as I want to make the law, I want to say 1999 Constitution, I want to rule wá láti 1960. As far as they're concerned, the law was properly applied. A Fulani man must not be indicted for killing a mere Nigerian. So we have to look at it with that dichotomy, look at it in two. Binary ni ngota answer. Was the Fulani man right in going to the man's farm to stab him? Yes, he was, according to the Fulani law. Was the man right in taking the knife from him and in self-defense kill him? No, the man was wrong, according to the Fulani law. But in the law of common sense, hopefully the law to apply to the rest of the world. Sunday was right, the judge was wrong, the Fulani was wrong.
Thank you. Amacheko.
Mo ń gbọ́ yín.
Lẹ́yìn feel nípa nǹkan tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ the second question yẹn. Ṣé ẹ gbọ́ abẹ́fẹ́ kí n tún ká?
Ẹ bá ń tún ká ẹjọ́.
Okay. Mo ní a ti rí the first one that you addressed is about whether the law was appropriately applied. The second one is the fairness. The fairness, and I'll read it. Was the trial process fair and unbiased, or were the factors that contributed to the verdict things like corruption, political pressure, or society biased? Ṣé àwọn nǹkan tó influence decision yẹn nìyẹn? And as I saw, I think we almost all agree about the law in Nigeria. Where, look, we the people was a fraud, the preamble to that constitution and everything. But since we're in Kota Nini, and not only that, Yorùbá ní kí ṣòbí àtòdégbò olùkàn bí là á wí fún ó ń àwọn náà dédé. Those who may be thinking we're fantasists, fẹ́ kúrò Nigeria. If we meet them at their own level and the Nigerian law they so much love and the identity of Nigeria that they carry, I think it's appropriate for us to scrutinize. Our own right to life is an estranged life, even under that constitution and other international treaties and conventions. So nísìnyí, would you say that law was fairly applied in that particular instance? In the case of Sunday, what do you think?
For the case of Sunday Jackson is only a symptom. Àìmọye la ṣì máa rí and I'll keep on trying to reiterate this, it's going to get worse. Fairness left the window a long time ago. It left the room of Nigeria a long time ago. Ó gbójú window jáde ni. Bias tẹ́ dárúkọ, devilish bias, ó gba ẹnu ọ̀nà, ẹnu ilẹ̀kùn wọ the room of Nigeria ni. And nígbà tó wọlé yẹn, a tètè tákùlẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní tentacles, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní dàgbà mọ́bẹ̀, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní confidence, it became emboldened because we didn't challenge it at the right time with the right vigor. So when it comes to the technicalities of justice or law or the legal system, I can't really help you there. But I can tell you where this is going. And so my biggest headache right now is I cannot see a set of people who are in the lenses of power or lenses of influence don't fight the cause Yoruba at the moment. Hawaii, we are doing the best we can. But how much power do we have? Kí la ní láti ṣe? Sherry, I am very, very afraid. Mi fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ jù because I can be very emotional, and this is not the time for it.
Thank you.
We are in grave danger. We don't listen. When your enemy says to you that you've been caged, and you still don't take heed, we are in grave trouble. They're bringing people in by lorry loads. They're coming up with weapons, Dane guns, from Dane guns to automatic rifles. They are killing our people already. And when we retaliate, we get hung. Where is the influence to must stop it? These are the kind of challenges to come and deal with instead of people in the National Assembly fighting over sitting area. Is what we're dealing with. While people are dying, it's not dying because of disease or plague or COVID-19. This thing is so simple. Justice system oti crumble. There's no technicality in it, Rara. When two people are having a fight, you look at the circumstances. Lati bere. Malu nuoko loko. Where's the defense for that person's business? O defend that. The other person coup. And he has to be hung. Shari, the history, current history, it's not recent history, current history. There were a set of people who were living comfortably in their state. Now, while Tongbebe, problem for they were still able to do business. They were still able to run their family. They had power, they had hospitals, they had all of that. But when the people to represent they made the mistake of not calling them back. You need to see the pictures of Gaza right now. Kewa mu mind kewa transport arayin out of mind travel. Kewa lọ síbẹ̀, kewa feel ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé this is your state. This is where you come from. I come from Gaza. How does it feel? Níbi tó jẹ́ pé ilé wà ń bẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀, businesses wà ń bẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀, hospitals wà ń bẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀. We had the opportunity to do anything we had to do. Socially, we were okay. Maybe politically, we were not all right. It wasn't 100% economically, but we were still alive. We still had our houses over, our roof over our heads. We can still move around. Ìlú yẹn wọ́n ti level ẹ̀. Yorùbá máa ń sọ pé ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ogun la mọ̀, a ò mọ̀ parí ẹ̀.
That's correct.
Are we going to wait for that to happen to us? Because I won't come out once it on my side, kò lè ṣẹlẹ̀. 20 years ago, nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́yìn tó wá sọ fẹ́mi gan pé ó lè ṣẹlẹ̀, má doubt ẹ̀. Somebody, the writing is on the wall. Babala capital letter, nothing call, but we still fail to read it. So, we don't have a government. Ọlá Ọlọ́run là ń jẹ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí, and it's running out. So, gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ government, ọ̀rọ̀ legal system, judiciary, àti nǹkan kan. We've come to a point now can recognize pé they have failed us. And the moment I realize we want to fail, that is the moment that we can come together and find a way out. And there's only one way out, fail.
Thank you.
Because hope is dead. Hope is dead.
Amaji. Hope, yeah. Want to work on I feel roigi. I don't work on I feel roigi. Baba Watalabi, what do you think rather? She fairness one, trial, boy. As you both question it. Shall be corruption, political pressure, and society bias. Shall require to influence decision in here.
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. Gbogbo àwọn tó ti sọ̀rọ̀ is that we are pointing to the same direction. There was no fairness at all. Not fairness. They are behaving like they have conquered everybody. They can do what they want to do and get away with it. Once there is no self-defense again, and there is no judiciary for common man, where you think your case can be answered or your case can be heard and answered, there is no point of not defending yourself. There is no point still remaining in that judicial system. Kò tẹ̀ yé mi rárá pé ènìyàn defend ara ẹ̀. Ẹ wo kéèsì kan tán publicize nínú YouTube níbi tí ọmọ kékeré kan ti defend màmá ẹ̀. Tí ọlọ́pàá fẹ́ crucify màmá ẹ̀, tí ọmọ yẹn yìnbọn pa ọlọ́pàá yẹn.
Yeah.
The girl was freed, which is self-defense. Kò sí ọmọ tó lè máa rí pé wọ́n fẹ́ pa màmá òun kó dẹ̀ máa wò. You have to do what you need to do. That is self-defense. But in Nigeria, we are biased. We are not even kò tẹ̀ yé mi rárá. Once somebody came to your farm, just like somebody came into your house, and you defend yourself with the weapon the man brought, and they are penalizing you for that. I don't know. The judges in Nigeria, they are biased completely.
Thank you.
So, Fulani ní òfin kan, in Nigeria ní òfin kan. It's not done in a good society. Tẹ́ bá kún mọ̀ pé a ti di Fulani, ká kún mọ̀ pa òfin Fulani là ń lò. Tẹ́ bá mọ̀ pé kí constitution wa ò work mọ́, ká disband ẹ̀, ká kún adopt constitution tá a mọ̀ pé a máa adopt. Because constitution is the norm, is the grand norm of everybody. It's every law. So it's not just justice òsínú àrárá, and it's not we are not to be in the same society. Ìyẹn ni mo ṣe ń rò ó lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta ìmúdẹ̀ rẹ̀ fẹ́ pé barista kí ni pé ó yẹ àwọn kan mìíràn ló yẹ ká discuss pẹ̀lú àwọn olórí wa pẹ̀lú àwọn ọba wa. Those who are beside, those who are with us, ẹ jẹ́ ká take ground wa, whether we are moving or we are not moving. Ọba tó o bá ti support wa ká mọ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká pariwo ẹ̀ síta, ẹ jẹ́ kí bọ́ọ̀dì pariwo ẹ̀ síta, because you can't continue like this. Otherwise, nobody is safe. Olúwa ràn wá lọ́wọ́, ẹ ṣé.
Ẹ ṣé gan. Ó sì kù ìbéèrè bíi méjì tá a fẹ́ béèrè lórí kí ni ẹ̀bùn mo fẹ́ fi àwòrán ẹnìkan náà hàn pa. Ó jáde síta because I don't think gbogbo ìjókòó wa lẹ́yìn kò ní kúnjú ìwọ̀n tá a bá wo eléyìí náà. Kí àṣírí àbòsí kó tú sí Yorùbá, kó tú sí wọn lọ́wọ́. Ìkan nínú àwọn ọmọ wa, ẹ lè imagine kí èèyàn join iṣẹ́ ológun kó dẹ̀ move all the way to the rank of an army general. Kó wá má parọ́ mọ́yàn, kó sòótọ́ nǹkan tójú ẹ̀ rí nípa ikú ọmọ Yorùbá. Gbogbo wa lè má agree pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ MKO Abiola, but Yorùbá ní ọmọ ẹni kì í lè títí ká fífẹ́ kàn pàjẹ́. The key thing here, nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Abiola, ẹni tó ná another election lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta wọ́n raise almost 17 billion fún. Ẹni tó sọ pé Abiola ṣe kú, ó wà ní Kirikiri, a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbọ́ ni. I would like to play that video for us to see what is going on. Torí wọ́n ní nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ ní jù, àwí létílé ni. Ìyà ń jẹ Yorùbá. Mo agree pẹ̀lú brother mi wípé ìyà yẹn máa worst sí ni. Torí ṣe ló ń worst sí. We've been caged. And one of my greatest fear is that our oppressors will end up as our heroes. In all facets of Yoruba life, and what and worship as heroes, àwọn gangan náà wà nídìí ìbàjẹ́ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa. Wọ́n náà kì í sọ̀rọ̀ òkú láìda ẹni tá a rí nínú aeroplane tó ní contact sí Gumi inspect ibi tó ń locate àwọn tó ń jí àwọn èèyàn wa gbé nínú igbó nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. We've seen it. Àwọn ní hero àwọn kan. But kí n má sọ̀rọ̀ jù, kí n má distract ara mi, ẹ jẹ́ kí n play picture. Mo rí message yín màmá. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n play picture, video General Bọ́lárìnwá, just to joggle our memories. Sorry. Okay.
Lódodo tí mo bá ṣiṣẹ́. Abusalam, you know what he did? Ó mọ tó ṣe Abusalam Abubakar mọ tó ṣe. Apànìyàn làwọn arábí. Wọ́n ti báyé Yorùbá jẹ́ kọjá ibi tó yẹ lọ. That day, Tabiola kú, the death has not announced to any of us kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ pé bàbá ti kú. Plane tó wá ń jọ yẹn, Abusalam order fún. There is a money tọ́gbà láti CBN ń jọ yẹn. Tó ṣe fáwọn èèyàn. They should go back to the record. Ìjọ Tabiola kú, owó tó jáde ní CBN. That very day and the following day, ìjọba ìjìnlẹ̀ fi gbowó yẹn jáde ní CBN. Kí ló fowó yẹn ṣe? Owó ẹ̀mí Abiola ni. Let Abusalam Abubakar, former commander-in-chief, GCFR, let him come and defend the death of MK Abiola.
Ọ̀rọ̀ lágbọ́n yẹn o. Ṣètìrí nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa ó pọ̀ tá a lè sọ. Àtáàkì ilé Ìgbòho, ikú Tolúlọpẹ́ Arótilẹ̀ àti ìmọ̀ outcome medicine. Fatai, ọkọ olóyún tó kú, doctor, kí lorúkọ wọn, tí ó trigger Ìgbòho tó fi lọ sí Ìgangan, and so many others. Nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ọmọ bàbá Ọlákúnrin, and all those things that we mentioned. Many tó lè kàn ó lè kàn yín, ó lè kàn mí àfi tí ẹ bá lọ Nàìjíríà mọ́ o àfi tí ẹ bá wà Nàìjíríà o tó jẹ́ kàn fi pé as long as tí n bá ti wà okay kò sí nǹkan tó kàn mí bá jẹ́ yẹn là ń ṣe some people have that mindset tí mi bá ti wà okay as long as tó bá jẹ́ Christianity là ń gbèrò as long as tó bá jẹ́ Islam kìíní là ń gbèrò tó jẹ́ pé our shared humanity is not important to us wọ́n fi ẹ̀sìn ṣẹ̀ríà ni kìíní kan ní irú Olúwo tó ṣe agbẹnusọ fún wọn as long as tó bá jẹ́ pé àwọn ọba tá a máa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá nìyẹn àwọn ọba tó ní kí ló dé tó ń ṣe lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ l'Ábùjá. Some of these people were poor before they became the kings. So ẹ̀mí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kò jọ wọ́n lójú tó bá lè yakoya ni wọ́n bá wa ṣe. I want to remind our people of what happened in Yugoslavia. There's got to be the people's uprising at a point. Àwa la lè gbára wálẹ̀ o àìgbọ́pá là ń wòkè àìgbọ́ ifá là ń wòkè ifá kan ò sí ní para o nǹkan méjì tí kì í tàn já jẹ tí kì í tàn ìjà wọn ní ọwọ́ ẹ̀ àti orí ẹ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá tẹ́ bá lórí tẹ́ bá lọ́wọ́ a dẹ̀ ti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa òkú òru àwọn bàbá wa it is not fair that irú Yorùbá nation pé pé lamentation la máa fi lójoojúmọ́ tí ò ní sí action covert àwọn bàbá wa ò ṣe báyìí o òun ló jẹ́ ká lè gbórí sókè ká ní Yorùbá ni wá o tí wọ́n bá ṣe báyìí ó yẹ ká wà bí gbogbo akádà bí Haúsá àbí Yorùbá Ìlọrin ni o ká má lè wo Fúlàní lójú wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ọmọ akin kì í ṣojo o àjẹ́ tó ń pààyàn wọn rẹ́jẹ̀ lẹ́nu ẹ̀ o àjẹ́ tó ń pààyàn wọn rẹ́jẹ̀ lẹ́nu ẹ̀ Yorùbá dẹ̀ ń lówe báyìí láń lùlù àgídìgbò ọlọ́gbọ́n ajo ọ̀mọ̀ràn àmọ́ ìdí ẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ òun là ń sọ fún yín tọ́mọ ilé tí ń jẹ ẹ wá wọ̀rọ̀kọ̀ kẹ́ fi ṣàdá. I am personally fed up wọ́n tún ti dé o wọ́n ti pa wá o wọ́n ti ṣe kinní kan o àwọn bàbá wa ò ṣe báyìí àwọn bàbá wa ogún tán fi lé wa kọ́ lélẹ́yìí we owe it to them to make sure that we don't bequeath what we have now to the unborn and the youth. Iṣẹ́ wà fún ilẹ̀ wa fún orílẹ̀-èdè wa ká ṣiṣẹ́ káwọn náà lè ráyé lò ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí third question ẹ jẹ́ kí n bẹ̀rẹ̀ third question látọ̀dọ̀ Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn.
mo ti délé o.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sísá. Should the death penalty be applied in cases where self-defense is involved or does it set a dangerous precedent? Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn.
Obviously, it sets a dangerous precedence. Ara nǹkan tó ń pè ní miscarriage of justice nìyẹn. There's a graphical representation of justice. Wọ́n ń pè ní lady of justice. And téèyàn bá wo àwòrán yẹn, the statues á fi hàn yín wípé ó ní blindfold. Ení, which is to indicate wípé it doesn't matter who he is. I don't see you for your wealth, for your religion, for your beauty, for anything like that. I don't see you. I'm blind to injustice. Ní nǹkan tí obìnrin yẹn sọ fún wa, the statute. Then, on the other hand, ó tún gbé scale dání, which is saying the same thing more or less, wípé equality láti wà. So tẹ́ bá wo scale yẹn is quite balanced and all of that. But the third item tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ is the sword. Now, sword yẹn bí metaphor ni, it doesn't necessarily mean wípé ó máa fi sword yẹn géèyàn or anything like that. But when you look at the whole picture, it says something wípé there has to be this kind of equity in justice. Death penalty is okay where it's actually valid. in the sense that pé tó bá pààyàn in the case of murder, ó premeditate ẹ ni, ó ti ní intention pé ó fẹ́ pa ni, and all of that. Then a lè argue wípé, okay, temper justice with mercy and all of that. But ẹni tí òun pa in a case of premeditated murder, òun náà ní opportunity láti temper justice with mercy or hatred with mercy or whatever to drive ẹ láti pa ẹni yẹn. So in this particular case, at the moment, I feel like I'm just rambling on about something that is quite clear. Need láti lọ law school láti rí pé kíní yìí. Come on. Like we said already, pẹ̀lú presenter tó sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, pẹ̀lú pé àwọn náà máa lọ yẹ̀ wò, they know quite clearly wípé kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. And wọ́n máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ kan, wọ́n ní tó bá ń gbọ́ gbégbégbé, tó bá bá wọn gbé, ẹ̀kúlé náà máa jù sí. Ẹnìkan tó mú láìpẹ́ yìí, tó gbé bọ̀bọ̀ youth leader Afẹ́nifẹ́re. I'm sure pé at some point, a ti ní confidence wípé kò lè ṣẹlẹ̀ sóhun. Ìgbà tẹ́ sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, tẹ́ ní a lot of people are máa rò pé kò lè ṣẹlẹ̀ sáwọn. I feel sorry for those people. Because ní Nàìjíríà tá wà yìí, we've seen political persons being treated the same way. Àti rí tán ti pa ọba. I think the count is now probably over 4 ọba tán ti pa. So this is the problem. I would have passed already not too long ago. Me rántí bóyá Plato ló sọ ni or whoever it was of those philosophers ló sọ ni. It was to stand back. Nínú case politics tó bá wọn dá sí. Ẹni tó kéré sí ẹ ló máa wá jọba lórí ẹ. And this is where injustice creeps in. So nísìnyí, ó yẹ ká tara ṣàṣà, ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa deal pẹ̀lú àwọn, ká recognize pé problem wà, ká wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa deal pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. But I feel láti recognize ẹ̀. We sit down almost every Saturday láti máa ké tuntun. Who is listening? Tó bá di later, mi ìgbàdúrà kó ṣẹlẹ̀ o. Tọ́lọ́run bá fún mi ní opportunity, tọ́lọ́run bá fún mi lágbára láti reverse gbogbo ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀, láti halt movement àwọn people yìí, tó bá máa gba life mi, I will do it. Tí n bá dé àjùlé ọ̀run tọ́lọ́run bá sọ pé òun máa fi ní mí sí iná, so be it. Then I know it's not the right God. Màá jẹ ìyà yẹn, fair enough, and I will die for my country. But ibi tí nǹkan lọ yìí, kò sí Jésù kankan bí kankan tó máa rà wá padà. At least not in us human beings. Tí Jésù bá lè padà wá, tó bá lè ṣiṣẹ́ yìí fún wa, ògo ni fọ́lọ́run. Ẹ wò, I'm at the end of my wits at the moment. I'm at the end of my wits. Because me more, any one of us, gbogbo ara ti dàgbà, gbogbo ara ti wà nínú kitchen rí. Kẹ wá imagine wípé bóyá ẹ ń gẹran ni, àbẹ́ ẹ ń gé tomato, àbẹ́ ẹ wá ń lo ọ̀bẹ. Ọ̀bẹ yẹn kàn ṣe, ó kàn ra gé yín lọ́wọ́. You know how it felt. 2011, a rí rampage tí àwọn ISIS tán run through Syria, tán run through Iraq, tán run through Lebanon, all those areas. But the harrowing picture tí gbogbo àtọ́ yẹ ká máa consider is the sight of people being led by a seashore, tán wọ jumpsuits, orange jumpsuits. And for every one of them, there's a masked person in military fatigue, máa mask, proper uniform, and there's one thing tó mú dání, ọ̀bẹ. I don't need to tell you the rest of it.
Thank you. I see. Dr. Yofula, Sister MC, you're welcome. I
Sure.
see. Yeah. Dr. Yofula, kí lẹ fẹ́ sọ nípa nǹkan tí ìbéèrè yẹn sọ? Should the death penalty be applied in cases where self-defense is involved, or does this set a dangerous precedent? Our mutual, sir.
Self-defense is a right, human right to everybody. Èyàn ò dẹ̀ lè exercise a right ká ní pé ó wrong. So self-defense can never be criminalized. But in this case, and I'm saying this over and over again, ẹ jẹ́ á wò dáadáa. Wọ́n criminalize self-defense. That's what we'll have to, until we are able to understand that. We're just beating about the bush and wasting our time. Àwọn bastards yóò criminalize self-defense. Nǹkan tó criminalize ni pé you have no right to fight against the Fulani. Ó tán, nǹkan tó criminalize nìyẹn. And they went all the way to their fake Supreme Court láti sọ fún the rest of Nigeria. Fulanis are 4% of the population. Àwọn olè tó ń ṣe decision wọn, maybe 2%, half of them. So you have 2% of the population telling people, we are going to show you that you dare not mess with the Fulani man. Nǹkan tó ń sọ nìyẹn. Nǹkan tó ń sọ nìyẹn. Until we're able to understand that, we are going to miss the whole point. Ìgbà tí mo kọ́kọ́ answer lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ tí mo ní pé they were right. I intentionally did that. I'm glad about
Benny.
Anyway, yes. There may be some people who didn't quite understand it. They are doing the right thing as far as they are concerned.
Benny.
But the right thing of 2% of the population against 98%, haba. I mean, tí ojú yẹn bá wà close, let's help them pry it open. But these people, and they are just like Abotekun said, this is just the beginning. And Madam Popola what confirm what Abotekun saw. But this is the beginning. What is she láti jọ yìí? Eléta kò rí sí nítorí social media ló fi dàbí ẹni kó ṣe kíní. They've been doing it ever since. Ever since nothing ṣe. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe títí dé ní. Wọ́n ṣe títí the 99 Constitution tó ní pé with the people, they use 4% of the population lied pé 100% with the people no Constitution. Àwọn kan ní pé this is small digression pé Abdulsalam kì í ṣe Fulani. Granted, it may not be Fulani, and some people think he's Fulani. Ẹ ti àjẹ́ ní pé kì í ṣe Fulani, but he was still acting the Fulani script of no act. So to fi a small, tiny minority, one talking whether they we the people of Nigeria. You see, until we really fully understand the gravity of that action, and if we understand it, then I really understand they see it as normal. Wọ́n lọ sóko olóko Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn sọ ń pa just a little while ago, èmi náà rí wọ́n mú ẹ̀gẹ́ ẹlẹ́gẹ̀ẹ́ wọ́n yọ síta wọ́n yọ sókè from the ground wọ́n dẹ̀ feed màálù wọn pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. I mean, what intentional malice, evil, satanic evil wo ló tún jù yẹn lọ? Ó dẹ̀ ń pọ́n jí àwọn èèyàn yìí ni. So what they really want to do is not only to feed their cow, but to cause us to starve, causing starvation among the Southerners. Anybody rí wọn tí ò bá pa wọ́n immediately ó máa lé ní. You see somebody on your get ó lọ wá soldier, ó lọ wá policeman, kill the motherfucker. So until we're able to, I'm saying this publicly. You come to my farm, I will shoot you off. You're a dead meat.
Yep.
So until our people understand that, there was another time here when young men come, probably in their late 20s, 30s, late over 41, don't pariwo lórí social media. What you think? You guys are so nauseating. So nauseating. Our Fulani wa pẹ́. Oh, lọ mú òun àti ìyé àti bàbá àti gbogbo ìgá àwọn kò wipe wọn off. Ó ní kí wọ́n pẹ́. And don't go attack Fulani tí ò bá ṣe ẹ́. But Fulani tí wàá sọ́dọ̀ ẹ, your self-defense
evil intention.
right. Yes, your Fulani right, your self-defense right allows you to do whatever you want to do to him happily. Ọlọ́run kọ́kọ́ ò dẹ̀ lè ní pé ó ṣe. You didn't sin.
Yes,
so that's it, Barrister. Back to you.
Thank you.
Barrister, ẹ má bínú.
Okay.
Barrister, ẹ má bínú.
Go ahead.
Sherry, if I were a farmer, pẹ̀lú nǹkan tí mo mọ̀ nísìnyí tí mo dẹ̀ wà ní Nàìjíríà, tí irú ẹ̀ bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi, mo ti mọ̀ pé èmi náà ti lọ nìyẹn under this justice system tá a ní lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Just think it like that. Now, overview tèmi as a overview that desolate farmer nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó láwọn ọmọ kéékèèké and all of that. Fear tear is much more than mine. Kò easy fáwọn people yìí láti take àwọn action yìí bá ṣe ń sọ yìí. Because they have no cover. They have no support. The justice system is gone.
Mo fún àtọmọ. Mo fi dàyín dúró. Ẹ má bínú. No, and the touch lórí the next thing. The next question is the implication of the judgment to the society at large. But before Kato do pẹ̀lú yẹn òwe àwọn bàbá wa kan wá sí mind mi. Wípé ikú tó ń pojú gbà ẹ̀ ni òwe ara ló ń pa á fún ni. Yorùbá dẹ̀ ní igi gogoro má gún mi lójú. Òkèèrè la ti ń wò. Àsìkò tó yẹ kí àwọn òwe bàbá wa ọ̀rọ̀ ṣùnùkùn ojú ṣùnùkùn la fi ń wò. Sister Yemisi, ẹ̀yin ni mo fẹ́ kẹ́ dá sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, but mo fẹ́ play video kan kẹ́ tó dá sí. Tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀, a máa ń sọ kinní kan bíi slang pé na today, mélòó la fẹ́ mọ̀? Wọ́n ní kóró là ń dífá adití. A Yorùbá dẹ̀ sọ nǹkan kan, wọ́n ní ògìdán ò ní ṣe bábà kájá débẹ̀ lọ gẹrun. Àsìkò tá a gbọ́dọ̀ ní repetition nílẹ̀ Yorùbá rè. Yorùbá ní ìran àjànàkú kí n ya ìràrá. Wọ́n lẹ̀ ní ó bá ìyá ọmọ tá a bí lọ́jẹ̀ tí ò máa wó ṣe. Tá a bá sọ Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, orúkọ yẹn wà dreaded, ẹ̀rù ń bà àwọn èèyàn ní títí kan àwọn agbèfọ́ba. Ẹni bá fẹ́ lọ sí territory àti dákó gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe investigation. Security should be part of farming. Ẹ̀yin lẹni ewé, lẹni egbò. Sister Yemisi, you will remember this. A fún bàbá Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà lówó almost a year before kí directorate tó jáde síta. Mi ò bẹ̀rẹ̀ rántí through Koiki la fi fún bàbá yẹn lówó. Bàbá ṣe interview. Àwọn tó ń bá bàbá Tàfá. Mr. Kọ́ládé welcome. Mo mọ̀ pé máa rántí ìgbà yẹn. Wọ́n béèrè lọ bàbá pé àwọn agbára tẹ́ ẹ lò nígbà yẹn ìjó sì wà. Mr. Kọ́ládé ṣe rántí. Ẹ fún bàbá àgbà ta send owó sí. Ẹ rántí nígbà yẹn ní Sikon.
Yeah, but I can't, we had a lot of things. Actually, so
That's right.
No,
But
so,
that's rántí. Torí Koiki, and he was honest. Wọ́n fún wọn lówó, wọ́n gbé bàbá sórí fídíò àṣẹ fídíò wọ́n ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa bàbá ní agbára àtàná ó wà nílé.
Yeah, I think I remember it was one evening. Yes, one
So,
evening.
It's important ká sọ kínní torí àwọn ẹ lọ bá gbà jẹun tọmọdé bá wọ mọ́wọ́ wẹ̀ á bá gbàlagbà jẹun. Ìlú òyìnbó ni mo wà a dẹ̀ sì máa gbára bàbá wa káṣẹ̀ má sọ ní tẹ wà Nàìjíríà. Abẹ́gẹ́ owó wọ́n ní oògùn tí ò jẹ́ ewu ẹ̀ ní òpé o ẹ wá o ó ti pẹ́ ta ti ń sọ Yorùbá má sùn jí má sùn Yorùbá ẹ dira o ẹ bá gbàlagbà rìn kẹ má dáko lásán. We've seen pictures àwọn tó ń palẹ̀ tí rí picture àwọn èèyàn tí ọ̀bẹ òràn tádà òràn ọ̀rẹ́ mi ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ sẹ́ni fọ́tò sí mi nìbàdàn ọlọ́dẹ wọ́n gbọ́bẹ sí lọ́rùn kò rán. Àwa la lògùn amorúkọ tó ń jẹ́. It can be done. Òkíbẹ́, Òkídà, Òkígò. We still have them. Equip yourself. Ọmọ Ògèdèngbé ọmọ òrìṣà ara ẹbí lèmi. I don't want people to say, born again Christian mi nǹkan tán ṣe ibi tán bí mi sí nìyẹn. Ọlọ́run ò dẹ̀ ṣìwàwò nígbà tó dá mi sí ìdílé tán ti ń ṣe òòṣà. Ọ̀rúnmìlà bàbá Ifá ní ohùn. Ifá ní ohùn Elédùmarè fúnran Yorùbá. Yeah, O God of Israel. Israel nìyẹn. Bó ṣe fara hàn wọ́n nìyẹn. Ó dẹ̀ wà ókè. Tẹ bá kò tí Bible kan wọ́n á sọ fún yín pé odù Ifá náà sọ báyìí o. They don't contradict each other, they complement each other. Gbogbo nǹkan tí ẹ bá fi lè dáàbò bora yín pẹ̀lú oko yín ẹ̀yin àgbẹ̀ ẹ ṣe. It is very depressing to be seeing pictures of wọ́n tún ti dé wọ́n tún ti pa wá o. With that, ẹ jẹ́ ká wo fídíò kan. Then our sister Iyalode will comment. 5 years ago lélẹ̀ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ bó ṣe wà láti kọ́ ṣe ó ń bẹ nísinsìnyí. I was in the Yoruba World Congress with the doctor tí lè ṣẹlẹ̀ sí. Ìgbà yẹn làwọn èèyàn ṣẹ̀bẹ̀ sí ń tèkẹ̀ serious pé kò ń ṣe fantasy o.
Dr. Kunle Hamzat, Tunde Hamzat, recently released captive from the Fulani headsman. Your account,
5 years ago, Leo.
Yes, it's quite unfortunate, and I have to say this, that the Yoruba nation is under siege. I was on my way to Ado-Ekiti for the burial ceremony of a very close friend, scheduled for 25th Friday, May this year, at Ijawara Junction, Iwara Junction. We were confronted by 10 armed men, 8 of them in military fatigue, shooting sporadically. Some died in the process, but I was weeks away, having been macheted on the head. On every day, we spend an average of, we trek for an average of 5 kilometers inside that forest. No food, no water. Yet these guys, they had a supply line. They cooked in the open field. That is where we all sleep. When they were exhausted their recharge cards.
5 people were captured a day after.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
5 people were captured a day after. It was that same day that they killed one soldier man, with a soldier, a serving soldier, and they removed his clothes. They even brought it to their camp, as souvenir. Some of them putting on the the bulletproof vest and what have you. So I think, if you ask for my own opinion, the Nigerian state, especially the Yoruba nation, we have been encircled. We are under siege, and if nothing is not done, maybe what happened in the northeast will be a child's play.
So what?
Ṣé gbogbo wa ti gbọ́ nǹkan tí Dr. Hamzat ti sọ? 5 years ago nìyẹn o. Ẹ̀rọ rí wọn ẹrẹ́sẹ̀ ẹrí gbogbo ẹ̀ àdẹ̀ tí ìmúra rárá àti ìpèpẹ́ àfi ìpolẹ̀ ká ṣe nǹkan kan àwọn ọmọ wa wọ́n sì ń wá bàbá ìjọba ló máa gbà wálẹ̀ ẹ gbọ́ wọ́n ní supply line tí Yorùbá bá rìn tó bá ń kó òrùka àlùkù dání nísìnyìí sí nǹkan tó burú náà kan wọ́ṣọ kó bí èrè it's up to you we will get to a level tó yẹ pé tí ẹ bá gbọ́ pọ́n pa ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ̀ ní ṣùkúmọ́ torí wọ́n ní kán lè sọ nípa tèmi wípé mo ṣe ìwọ̀n tí mo lè ṣe ẹ dira Yorùbá jí má sùn títa yé mi sí mi ò mọ̀ bóyá ń gbọ́ àwọn nǹkan tí àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ti sọ látàárọ̀.
Yeah, mo ń gbọ́ kí ẹ tó béèrè any question mo fẹ́ béèrè nǹkan kan lọ́wọ́ brọ́dà mi Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn.
Okay.
Ṣé wọ́n ṣì wà ń bẹ̀?
Wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀ yẹ.
Mo wà bí.
My brother, tó bá pẹ́ mi ò mọ̀ yín dáadáa, màá ní pé discriminate against obìnrin. I know you are Rufai, Yoruba land, Yoruba nation Rufai. You say it the way you say it. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ tẹ́ sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yìí pé we are in problem. Pé wọ́n wà problem Nàìjíríà ò sí problem. Ipe ìjà seat or no seat náà ń jókòó sí. Gbogbo seat or no seat yẹn ló dáhùn sí nǹkan tí à ń sọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí. Because injustice náà nìyẹn. Kí ọkùnrin máa intimidate obìnrin tìtorí pé ojú obìnrin tó rò fẹ́ bá sùn ó kò agree láti kó bá òun sùn. I will tell you something. Ìgbà tí mo ṣe tán ní Nàìjíríà, I was just walking up and down for 1 year. Every interview tí n bá fi lọ, rubbish náà máa sọ, you so beautiful. The next thing ni pé kí n wá pàdé wọn lóòótọ́. Before my mom decided, because I said I will rather don't work, I will not do that. Sherry, tí a bá irú kíní tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn, I love the lady to pieces because tí kò bá ṣe nǹkan tó ṣe yẹn, àwọn obìnrin wèrè kan tán wá tán against ẹ̀, ó ti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fún wọn rí bẹ̀tìtì torí pé wọ́n agree pẹ̀lú ẹ̀, they cannot wọn lè support obìnrin ẹgbẹ́ wọn. So my brother, ẹ má kó yẹn dànù, ẹ má rò pé bóyá nonsense ni nǹkan tó ń ṣe. It is the right thing because láì jẹ́ pé wọ́n kọ́kọ́ sọ̀tì àwọn nǹkan kéékèèké yẹn out, àwọn nǹkan ńlá ta fẹ́ sort out náà ni kò ní make sense. I was listening to a lady from mi ò rántí African country yìí tó ń blast wọn ní house yìí pé on increase owó ìyà ń jẹ àwọn people wọn pé òun ò wá sí house láti wá kówó jẹ, òun wá sí house láti wá ease problem àwọn family òun. Cherry, the things that is going on in Nigeria, àwọn àgbà wa náà máa sọ pé kékeré náà ti máa ń pẹ̀ka àkókò tí wọn bá tètè jẹ́ kí tán bá ti ń jẹ́ kí ìrókò dúró tó bá yá ẹbọ ló máa gbà. Me personally, on my own opinion, I think what Natasha did was right. Ó lè wá kọ̀sì sí ìjà whatever tó bá kọ̀sì sí. So ó máa kọ́ àwọn yòókù tó ń bọ̀ ní common sense pé kò ń ṣe gbogbo obìnrin ló lè máa ṣe nonsense yẹn fún. So ìgbà tẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn mo wà surprised pé wow pé my brother you are not like this pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí ẹ má bínú sísá Yẹ́misí Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. Ṣé ẹ máa kí n bá yín respond sí sísá Yẹ́misí?
No, ẹ má bínú, ẹ lè bá mi respond. Ẹ jẹ́ kí èmi náà kọ́kọ́ help ara mi náà. Tẹ́ bá mind, ẹ jọ̀ọ́.
Okay, sure.
Right, not too long ago.
Mo ti wọ glove o.
No, àṣebá ń discuss ni, à ń fi ọ̀rọ̀ wérọ̀ ni. I'm happy about one thing tẹ́ sọ. It's not exactly pé sọ pé ẹ wà disappointed, but bẹ́ẹ̀ wá clarification ni. No, okay. Now, mo sọ pé lórí panel yìí, a ti sọ̀rọ̀ débi pé ọ̀rọ̀ misogyny or no misogyny nínú National Assembly. Ta dẹ̀ ń sọ pé àwọn kan dìde, wọ́n sọ pé gender equality bill yẹn pé ó wà against religion àwọn. mo sure pé mo ti mention ẹ̀ rí. Now, Natasha Apoti Iduaga, she is doing the right thing for the women folk, for Nigeria, for Nigerian women and all of that. There's no doubt about that. Lọ́dọ̀ tèmi. But for that purpose, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ gbọ́ nǹkan kan ní ìgbà yẹn sìn. Bóyá kí n máa gbọ́ bí i 10 seconds of it.
Okay, o.
If a few more seconds, go load. Ẹ má misunderstand me o. Sherry, if anything, tí situation bá délẹ̀, obìnrin àti ọmọdé, from my experience, àwọn gangan ni priority.
True.
Àwọn ìyá wa ni priority because they are weaker in a sense, physically. If mentally, physically. So I would not be the kind of person to my sort along the lines of picking and misogynistic. The problem is don't do seats. Lè jókòó síbẹ̀ ìgbà ẹ̀ ló máa jókòó sí. Ẹ bá rán sí pé incident ti ṣẹlẹ̀ pẹ̀lú máa tó ń pè ní àpábíò yẹn náà. Dìde tó ṣe the same thing tí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe. Ó pariwo nínú house tó ń bá Sàràkíjà. Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ pé wọ́n fi assign seat mi fún ẹ. Wọ́n assign seat mi fún ẹ. So nǹkan tó yẹ kí n sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn jáde nìyẹn pé
Okay.
àwọn tá a gbójú okùn lé àwọn kan problems báyìí ló yẹ kó máa deal pẹ̀lú instead of dealing pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ seat. Na nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ play kò load but ó dà pé my excuse ẹ̀. And reason tí mo fẹ́ play kìíní ẹ̀ ni pé I'm working on something at the moment to support Natasha in the sense of pé kéèyàn compose orin kéèyàn wá fẹ́ ṣe fídíò lé. Èmi àti barrister Olútáyọ̀ Gèdèǹgbé àti Bàbá Oyèfúlẹ̀, we should have started the project but mi ò ní equipment tí mo need láti fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn. Nǹkan tí mo ní at the moment is really really below par. For instance, nísìnyí mo ń try láti ṣí nǹkan kan, I'm waiting this long. Computer tí mo ń lò yìí is over 5 years old. I could have been doing a lot of things but mo ní sùúrù fúnra mi ni. Àwọn kankan wà tó yẹ pé ó láti ní priority fún family tèmi náà àti fèmi náà. Ọlọ́run á bá mi ṣe, I'll be able to do a lot more work. But I'm struggling here láti defend ara mi. I want you to understand that wípé mo mọ ohun tí mò ń ṣe. Ẹ má rí mi bẹ́ẹ̀. It will be hurtful tí èèyàn bá accuse me of something like that. Kì í ṣe pé accuse me o, but it's going in that direction. Barrister, ó wà lọ́wọ́ yín.
Thank you. Yes, nǹkan tí sister sọ, I think for anybody tí ó bá bímọ obìnrin tó níyàwó obìnrin tí òun náà tún ní ẹ̀gbọ́n àbábọ̀ tí obìnrin dẹ̀ kọ́ tó gbẹ̀kọ́, mo fẹ́ pé it will be an appropriate thing. And I know what you represent, what you stand for. And in law, nǹkan tó ń sọ, Barrister Talabi will bear this. In every judgment are two things. You have the ratio decidendi and obiter dictum. This is something, but something said by the way. And Ebaka briefly could touch. Lórí nǹkan kan tá a fẹ́ ṣe gangan. Wọ́n ní ibi tá à ń lọ kò jìnnà, àwọn ibi tá a máa ń yà lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan ni. Mo fi pé wọ́n kàn nǹkan tí àwọn sọ bí àwọn nǹkan ẹ bó ṣe wà important tó jẹ́ national important. Títà mi wọ̀n bóyá wo fídíò kan tí mo share. Question nǹkan tẹ́ sọ yẹn, the same thing ni Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn náà sọ by Senator Fadahunsi. Ó ní àwa ṣíbí ẹ̀ ń bára yín jà, ibi ní kẹ́ jókòó sí, ibẹ̀ kọ́ ní kẹ́ jókòó sí. The same thing has happened in the chamber. Tí ò tẹ̀ ní nǹkan ṣe pẹ̀lú ọkùnrin àbóbìnrin. But what Baba Fadahunsi was talking about there ni pé this is too trivial kí Senate president gbogbo àwọn tẹ̀lé jọ dìtẹ̀ mọ́bìnrin yìí gbogbo náà ti ń làágùn lórí tẹlifíṣàn so nǹkan tí ò dáa nǹkan tí àpábí ò ṣe àwọn èèyàn ti ń gbéná sí lójú gbogbo politics tọjọ ń pè ìyàwó ẹ kì í sí ìwọ náà kì í sí tiẹ̀ ó ṣe so everybody náà rí pé èmi lórí Facebook mi I've had some highly knowledgeable ladies tó yẹ pé wọ́n wò pé wọ́n rí position mi pẹ̀lú in fact àwọn tó tún àtàkùn obìnrin ní Nàìjíríà àwọn obìnrin Nàìjíríà èmi dẹ̀ ń defend ẹ pé no they standing for the life of my children tọ́mọ àdìdí lọ́jọ́ kan because tí ẹ bá ní obìnrin oníjẹ kankan èmi wà ní ìlú tí wọ́n pé the best among them has been Margaret Thatcher àjọ ń gbébí ní sísá àjẹtìrí tó ṣe 45 days náà àbẹ́ẹ̀kẹ́ tó ń lè kúrò mi ò believe wípé obìnrin àtọkùnrin wípé ọkùnrin superior ju obìnrin lọ intellectually the only difference between all of us is between our legs the truth be told so if any man is still walking around to think you are more superior or you are better than a woman no and religiously only women submit to your wife unless you are the boss to a woman she doesn't need to submit to you ọkọ ẹ̀ ló máa submit sí nílé so we need to get things in perspective ìyàwó mi náà bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ high profile obìnrin níbi iṣẹ́ tó bá délé under authority lèmi náà máa submit so the Nigerian society is a society that we must educate properly but inú mi dùn pé ẹ̀yin pẹ̀lú brother mi ẹ mọ ẹni tó jẹ́ ẹ̀yin náà dẹ̀ nǹkan tẹ̀ fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ preamble ni pé kì í ṣe irú èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ and nǹkan tó ń sọ was something by the way pé there are some things iná tó jó wa lára ju ọ̀rọ̀ pé ìjókòó ọ̀nà ìjókòó òun lẹ̀ ń sọ obìnrin ẹ jókòó bíi pé àwọn kan tiẹ̀ accuse obìnrin pé ṣe ló ń bọ́ṣọ ní òkiri tó fẹ́ fi seduce obìnrin ọkùnrin ó dẹ̀ máa ṣe oníṣàṣọ tó ń seduce yín rè so it's not about it's about the way tẹ̀yin gbọ́ngàn tẹ̀ fi ń ronú tẹ̀ fi ń ríra yín so ẹ̀yin pẹ̀lú bọ́dà mi ẹ̀ níṣù lórí ara inú mi dùn pé ẹ ti sọ.
No, not at all. Me an issue pẹ̀lú wọn because I know the type of person he is. Yeah. Like I said, he's our Rufai. He will say it the way he sees it. But bí wọ́n ṣe kọ́kọ́ explain it, he may take it wrongly because èmi rò pé they're talking pé kí ni woman yẹn pariwo lé lórí iṣẹ́ abẹ. That wasn't what he said anyway. So mi ò take it against wọn rárá. I just want a bit explanation on it. No, I know it's not a person like that. Never.
Thank God. And listen, sister, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ wá deal pẹ̀lú àwọn student issues yìí. The issue tó deal pẹ̀lú àwọn Fúlàní who are claiming to be the owners of Nigeria. Àti wo film Dr. Tunde Hamzat. Àti wo ti General Bọ́lárìnwá. Àti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Sunday Jackson. Pẹ̀lú gbogbo òfin wọn. Náà mo fẹ́ kẹ́ wo òfin yìí. Kí ni implication ẹjọ́ yẹn inú mi dùn pé lórí nígbà tí wà lórí rìn ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ gbogbo nǹkan táwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n sọ àti question tá a ti béèrè. Ẹ bá yànnàná ilé. How does the ruling impact public confidence in the justice system? And what reforms are needed to prevent similar cases in the future? Délé Fárótìmí ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ nípa justice system. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. Kò tó rí. Ẹ dáhùn ìbéèrè sísá. Nǹkan tí wọ́n ṣe àti ní kò wà wọ́n apply law properly. And we believe a lot of the panel today discussed the fact pé ó wà unfair. And so wípé in case of self-defense, wípé what do you call it? Death penalty should not apply. So the last question ó ní turn down yìí sister. Kí ni ẹ̀yin rò wípé implication ẹ̀ máa jẹ́ if this judgment is allowed to stand and wọ́n dẹ̀ pa arákùnrin yẹn and kí la lè ṣe question méjì ni kí la lè ṣe the second one kí la lè ṣe fún arákùnrin yẹn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ń sìn yìí kí ni way.
Màá bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti di pé kí la lè ṣe fún arákùnrin yẹn. Ó dà pé wọ́n sọ pé àwọn human rights náà ti dìde. So nǹkan tá a lè ṣe náà kò ju human rights. Nǹkan tí mo kàn fẹ́ béèrè ni pé ọkùnrin tí tó ṣe self defence tó fẹ́ pa ṣé Fúlàní ni àbí Haúsá?
It's a minority, it's a Christian, a northern Christian.
Because tó bá pé ara wọn ni wọ́n, àwọn mi ò ní nǹkan kan sọ nínú yẹn, because iṣu ọba ló mú kó ọba jẹ. Àwọn fúnra ara wọn náà máa fọwọ́ ara wọn ṣera wọn tó wáá pé jẹ from the same Hausa or Fulani kan jọ máa bára wọn fà ń bẹ̀. Tẹ́ bá wo system wa yìí, ìdí tí àwọn north, most especially that Satan tó pe rẹ̀ ní Sátánù yẹn tó fi ń fẹ́ ṣàríà ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa nìyẹn. Kò ní sẹ́ni tó máa lè defend rẹ̀, ó pààyàn. Wọ́n á ní Kùránì sọ pé torí pé ó pààyàn ó gbọ́dọ̀ pa ẹ́, without looking into the other side. Civilized, even ká tẹ̀ mú ọ̀rọ̀ civilization kúrò nínú Bible, tó bá ṣe self defence you can kill somebody, because it's either ojú ogun lẹ́jọ́jọ́ wà, it's either kó pa ẹ́ or kó pa, which wọ́n máa in law wọ́n máa wé ẹ̀. Mi ò ṣe lọ́ọ̀bẹ̀ tí èmi náà ń ka àwọn nǹkan kéékèèké. Wọ́n máa wé pé bóyá èèyàn wọlé ẹ̀ ó gbébọn àti ọ̀bẹ dání, àbí nǹkan tó máa ṣe ẹ́ ní iṣẹ́, anything tó bá rí ló lè fi defend rẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá wá tí ò ní ẹ́ ní nǹkan ìjà lọ́wọ́ tó sọ pé òun fẹ́ dì pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ tí wọ́n lọ gbébọn tó pa, wọ́n lè sọ pé o ní problem pẹ̀lú yẹn. Ikú tí wèrè Fúlàní tó máa jóná látọ̀rọ̀ ayé tó ti jóná dọ̀run tó lọ sóko olóko, ikú tó kú, èmi believe bó ti ẹ̀ deserve, ó yẹ kó pa gbogbo ìdílé ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ní, kò ń ṣe òun nìkan ló yẹ kó pa. Now tá bá pé bá ṣe ń wò ẹ́ tó bá ń lọ bó ṣe ń lọ kò ní séèyàn kankan tó máa rí mú mi ní Nàìjíríà mọ́. Ẹ̀rù á ti sọ̀bà àwọn èèyàn, nǹkan táwọn Fúlàní ń fẹ́ náà nìyẹn, ká máa bẹ̀rù wọn so that whatever ìyàwó níyàwó lè máa lọ kán fọwọ́ gbáǹdì pé kó máa nìṣó nílé àwọn. Wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé tó o bá ṣe sọ anything like nǹkan tí dádì wa Dr. Oyefulẹ̀ sọ ni pé 105 years back ìyàwó níyàwó ń lọ you did that then ló pọ́kú ẹ̀ because of that. Kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan kan tó ṣẹlẹ̀. Nǹkan tí àwọn ọmọ ìṣù yìí nǹkan tó fẹ́ kó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ nílùú wa nìyẹn. So wọ́n ní kékeré náà ti ń pẹ̀ka àròkọ, we need to stand up. Ẹjọ́ torí Ọlọ́run, àwọn so-called father Satan-G.O. wa ta ní, àwọn olórìṣà wa ta ní, àwọn ìmọ̀ọ̀mù wa ta ní tó ń gé orí èèyàn gẹ́sẹ̀ èèyàn, where are they? This is the time now to fight for your country. Because tí Tinubu bá lè kúrò ńbẹ̀ tí a ti rí Yorùbá nation gbà, mo máa fi sorry o, mo fi sorry fún wa gan gidi. Àwa tá a sí ní Nàìjíríà, we will not be able to go there again. So wọ́n máa ṣe wá bí bó ṣe ń ṣojú. Ẹjọ́ ẹ̀yin lọ́ọ̀yà, ẹ̀yin jọ́ọ̀jì wa, justice, ṣé ẹ máa wo Nàìjíríà níran kan máa bá àwọn mi ò bá àwọn nọ́ọ̀tì lọ́ọ̀yà sọ̀rọ̀ o. I'm talking about our own Yorùbá lawyer, judge and justice of each state nǹkan. Ṣé bí ẹ ṣe máa wò wá nìyẹn? Because you are disgracing us, you are disgracing your professional, you are disgracing your art. Because what is going on now, gbogbo àwọn bàbá wa àgbàlagbà tó ń jẹ́ judge tó ń jẹ́ lawyer san, gbogbo wọn mute. Nǹkan tí ò kàn wọ́n lápá kàn wọ́n lẹ́sẹ̀ ń gbà mí ìná máa dá sí. Because this is the time they supposed to come. Constitution eléyìí kí ẹ ti dorí ẹ̀ kodò ni, because ó dà pé self defence wà nù ẹ̀. You know the other country are laughing at us, pé foolish people. Mo tiẹ̀ rí ọmọ Africa kan tó sọ fún mi pé yẹ́mi sí ìyẹn kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀. Your country, are you still calling yourself a giant of Africa because you are even worse than midget? Mo fẹ́ gbá etí ẹ̀ fún jọ yẹn, but mo kàn ń wò pé to start with, I sat Adam, mo ní listen, you are foolish. But if you don't if you are not foolish, you're supposed to ask me, where am I from? Before you talking about Nigeria. Mo dẹ̀ sọ fún pé I'm not in Nigeria. Oh, Where are you? I thought you are in Nigeria. Mo ní no, I'm a Yoruba nation. So I need láti tètè ṣe nǹkan tá a máa ṣe kí ekulé gbọ́ kó sọ fún toko káàdàn gbọ́ kó rò fún ti ọ̀dà bí àná ṣe máa ń pè
Oúnbẹ.
oúnjẹ. Àwọn tó wà ní Nàìjíríà need láti dìde tógúntógún tìjàtìjà. Wọ́n need láti dìde tógúntógún tìjàtìjà. Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tó ń mu kòlóòsì wèrè kiri tó ń gé orí girlfriend gé ọyàn girlfriend kiri. Á tó stage kan tó máa máa rákò ní ẹ̀gbẹ́ títì báyìí nígbà tí ebi bá fẹ́ pa wọ́n. Tó báyìí tí ì rí gbogbo ìdílé wọn pátán o. They need to stand up now and fight for your life. Fight, because when you stand up now, you are fighting for your life. Not only your nation, because tó bá ní kòkùn ẹ̀, ìgbà tó náà mú the young man ní Afẹ́nifẹ́re, mo bú sẹ́rìn ni. I don't feel sorry for him. I'm sorry. I'm happy that he wasn't killed. I'm really, really happy that he wasn't killed. Because ẹlẹ́ran ara lèmi náà, mo dẹ̀ lẹ́gbọ̀n, mo lábùú. I'm happy that he wasn't killed, but I'm happy that wọ́n fìyà jẹ, so a lè mọ̀ pé we need Yorùbá nation kò ń ṣe referendum wèrè àmì ẹ̀kíní restructuring nonsense tán ń bá ká. So ẹ̀bẹ̀ tí mo bi àwọn Fúlàní ni pé gbogbo àwọn prominent tán fẹ́ ká gba Yorùbá nation yẹn ni kán jọ ọ̀kan lọ máa bá wa gbéyàwó wọn, kán gbé ọmọ wọn, kán gbé wọn. Because láì jẹ́ pé wọ́n fi kan dófin nínú wọn, they will still be doing nonsense. Gbogbo owó orí burúkú táwọn kan gbàǹgbà tó ń dìbò, mo ṣú ọ̀pọ̀ ti náwó yẹn tán, wọ́n á bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sunkún ebi ń pa wá. Gbàǹkárá ọ̀pá 5. Áfẹ́ẹ̀dì tẹ́ bá ti fọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀mejì torí tàṣọ àní ni. Wish kò sí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sásọ àní, àṣọ is a good cloth. Tí n bá rí tí mo like màá rà. But don't go and get things like that for your life, because your life, anything tó bá gbà nígbà tó lóṣèlú bá ń ṣe tó bá ń campaign, owó ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ ló gbà, owó ibi tó máa pa ẹ̀ ló gbà. So wow ẹ má bínú láì pé bátìrì ti fẹ́ kú ẹ̀ ń bọ̀. Hello, ṣé ń gbọ́ mi?
Bátìrì wo ló ń kú?
À ń gbọ́ yín clearly, à ń gbọ́ yín.
Mi?
À ń gbọ́ yín, à ń gbọ́ yín.
Okay. So tí a bá tètè dìde sìn ká tètè dìde kí ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kí ẹni tí ń bẹ́lẹ̀ lẹ́ni o tó bá nídìí mi ní Yorùbá land I will go, because what is going on now ní àárọ̀ ìgbà tí mò ń wo ti General Ayọ̀rìndé àbíkílò Bọ́lárìndé I was so emotional, mi mọ̀ gbà tó mi ń jábọ́ lójú mi parapara. Mo máa rò pé bóyá ò tiẹ̀ fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ ni pé ó ti wà ní ilé àṣẹ Ìkòyí ni wọ́n lọ tì í mọ́. Tinubu dẹ̀ gbogbo, and I was told that Tinubu is part of Baba Awólọ́wọ̀'s son. So Tinubu dẹ̀ gbọ́ kínní Yorùbá, this is a Yorùbá, ṣé wọ́n tún fẹ́ kó tún pa again? Wọ́n tún fẹ́ kó tún di ara àwọn statistics. Ó ní kí Abubakar wá kó bọ́ síta kó wá explain ara ẹ̀. So iṣẹ́ tí yẹn fi máa explain ara ẹ̀ kọ́ lọ jù sí prison ni ó dà. Tọ́pẹ́ Àlàbí kọrin, ó ní alágbára ayé àtàn. Àwọn tó lànà wọn ò sí mọ́. Ìgbà ló nígbà ń lò bó ló sí re, adẹ́ẹ̀dá òsùn yóò sẹ̀san. Ọlọ́jọ́ díẹ̀ láyé máa ń gbọ̀nà kankan. Má torí owó kó o sorun wájú kó o só mọ́ tìpàkọ́. Nǹkan tí ó máa ń bí mi tó máa ń jẹ́ ẹ̀dùn ọkàn fún mi ni pé wọ́n ní lèmọ́mù máa jóná kò ní ṣojú ọmọ ilé kéwú. Mo máa ń bẹ Olúwa jẹ́ kí àwọn lèmọ́mù tó fẹ́ jóná jẹ́ kó ṣojú wa. Because Bible sọ pé tí Ọlọ́run ò bá fi títóbi agbára ẹ̀ hàn, àwọn aláìgbàgbọ́ ò ní gbàgbọ́. Ọlọ́run ní láti máa ṣó wa. Irú Babangida kí fùrù ẹ̀ kó jẹrà mórí iṣẹ́ àyẹn kó máa kígbe oró kó má rí kúkú. Gbogbo àwọn tó ní ọwọ́ nínú ìpànìyàn lórílẹ̀‐èdè yẹn pátápátá tó ta ìjà aláìṣẹ̀ sílẹ̀, either political kìíní or any other thing, kọ́lọ́ Elédùmarè kó fi ìyà wọn hàn wá kó tó tún lọ jẹ tọ̀run because tọ́lọ́run ò bá ṣèyẹn fún wa àwọn pípù yìí wọ́n máa ṣe orí burúkú wọn èṣù ní bàbá wọn mo sọrí o tí mo bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ brother mi ká máa sọ pé no Satan ní èṣù kan I beg your pardon language ni Satan làwọn Saudi Arabia ń pè èṣù làwa ń pè I mean Satan ní òyìnbó ẹ̀ èṣù ní Yorùbá ẹ̀ àṣetánì ní Saudi Arabia kí náà ti ń ka àwọn Arab kìíní so èṣù ló ń rúlu Nàìjíríà ó gbé ìjókòó wá jókòó ẹ̀tọ́ náà máa yẹ ìjókòó yẹn ó máa yẹ nídìí ẹ̀ èmi ò against anybody tó ń ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣe mi ò against Muslim mi ò against Christian èmi ni ẹtì ìwọ tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ ẹtì tó ò ṣe nǹkan kan èmi kọ́ mo máa dá ẹjọ́ ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ tí nǹkan tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́ ní orílẹ̀-èdè wa yìí brother mi Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn kọ́kọ́ sọ pé we need prayer yes we do need prayer a lè sọ pé ẹni tó bá ka Bible dáadáa mo ní pastor Ògèdèngbé ọmọ story Nénéfì nígbà tí wàhálà ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nénéfì ìgbà tí Ọlọ́run fẹ́ bínú sí wọn tó fẹ́ pa wọ́n run bó ṣe pa Sódómù àti Gòmórà run ó rán Jónà sí wọn Jónà ẹ̀rù bà Jónà dẹ̀ sọ ó sọ statement kan pé tó máa lọ jíṣẹ́ tí Ọlọ́run náà aláàánú Ọlọ́run ó máa ṣàánú fún wọn ó lè máa ṣe nǹkan tó lóun máa ṣe then òun náà máa fìyà jẹ ó ń sá lọ wọn Ọlọ́run lé ẹ ní Èkó ó sá lọ sí Sókótó Ọlọ́run ò sí ní Sókótó ni kó tó di pé to cut a long story short ìgbà tí Jónà débẹ̀ tó sọ gbogbo nǹkan tó máa sọ ọba díẹ̀ nǹkan tí tẹ bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ọba létí mi ẹ má jẹ́ kí n ṣépè ọba díẹ̀ sọ wípé kí gbogbo ìlú àtewúrẹ́ àtẹranko àtọmọ mú okùn sẹ́ni tó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹun pé kó lè fi wájú Ọlọ́run and they did Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ have compassion on them ó dẹ̀ tún rán the same wòlíì sí wọn pé okay o òun ti dáríjì wòlíì tó rán yìí Ọlọ́run wa òní ọ̀sán gangan Ọlọ́run wa ṣì dìbò ó ṣe bíi tẹ́ǹtì sí orí ẹ̀ torí òòrùn mú gan ẹni tó bá ti dé Jerusalem gbogbo yẹn rí àmọ́ pé òòrùn bẹ̀ tún serious ju ti Nàìjíríà lọ so ó wá di Ọlọ́run wa fẹ́ fi títóbi hàn pé ìwọ oníkì lọ pa gbogbo wọn okay kíní ṣì tó fún yẹn kílẹ̀ tó ṣú kíní yẹn ti jẹrà kòkòrò ti jẹ kó wa ó wá ń wò pé ó wá ń bínú pé nǹkan ìdí tóun ò ṣe fẹ́ wà rèé ìdí tóun ò ṣe fẹ́ wà rèé o kìnnì kan náà wá sọ fún pé òkè nǹkan tó ò ṣèwọ ló ṣe mí mo sáré ṣe kó bò ẹ́ lọ́sàn kó òòrùn má pa ẹ́ so òun ló ń bínú lé lórí so thousands of people tó wá repent tó ń gbàdúrà tó ń gbàwẹ̀ tí mo wá dáríjì life èèyàn nìyẹn so we need prayer whatever tí ìbá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ oníṣẹ̀ṣe kó máa ṣe prayer wọn àáfàá kó máa ṣe prayer wọn àwa náà àwa Christian náà ká máa ṣe prayer wa ṣé rí àwọn tí mo fi kó useless jù ní Nàìjíríà àwọn lolórí ẹ̀sìn wọ́n ń ṣẹ̀sìn wọ́n láwọn ń ṣẹ̀sìn tó bá pẹ́ wọ́n gbúra bàbá kan wòlíì kan ó ní kán jẹ́ kí gbogbo wọn ṣe àpérò ìrònúpìwàdà kán gbàgbé nípa èmi ni kérúbù èmi ni CMS èmi ni sẹ̀lẹ̀ èmi ni kó jẹ́ kí gbogbo wọn kán ní virgin bíi just few days 7 days kí gbogbo wọn jọjọ wà papọ̀ káwọn wà nìkan lọ sí ọ̀lù kan kí gbogbo wọn máa gbàdúrà tó bá máa ṣe líboyọ́ lọ́la they didn't do it tòbẹ̀ tó wáyé pé wọ́n fẹ́ gba tithe ni wọ́n máa mọ ibi tó wà nínú Bible pé people must pay tithe eléyìí tó máa scam àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ máa scam ẹ̀ eléyìí tó máa jí owó politics tó máa kó wá sí church ẹ̀ tó ó máa gbà á nǹkan tí mo ṣe ń gbàdúrà nìyẹn pé ìwọ Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí á rí èrè àwọn èèyàn búburú yìí kí wọ́n tó lọ kán tó lọ jìyà àwọn tó kù lọ́rùn so like your question we need to buckle up now we need to buckle up now enough is enough this is it because tí a bá lè jẹ́ kí bàbá Bọ́lá yẹn Tinubu kó kú tó bá kúrò peradventure tó bá wọlé 4 years yẹn náà kò ní sí nǹkan kan tó fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ tí wọn bá wọlé tó bá lọ ta la mọ̀ torí bọ̀dá Dìdìrìn tó wà ní Dubai ó lóun tún fẹ́ jẹ president so tí ò bá wá lulẹ̀ this time around tó bá wá lọ wọlé ìyàwó lẹ fi ìpò máa jẹ wá.
Pọ́nlọ́mbà ìyá.
So whatever tá a bá mọ̀ tá a fẹ́ ṣe ogun tá à ń sá fún àti wà ní ogun already so àwọn tó wà ní Nàìjíríà tán sì pera wọn Nàìjíríà àwọn yẹn ni fẹ́ jẹ́ ká tètè ké fún wọn pé eléyìí ti fẹ́ le jù o. I spoke to leader village àwọn parents mi láàárọ̀ yìí. I was warning him about Fulani. Wọ́n torí mo ní club síbẹ̀. So wọ́n wá sọ fún mi pé wọ́n lọ àwọn Fulani tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n mú wọn lọ búra. Ṣé ẹ mọ bí Fulani ṣe ń operate? Olórí burúkú làwọn people yìí.
Láti dárúkọ village.
Ìbúra báwo mo ṣe fẹ́ dárúkọ village mi? Abẹ́òkúta ni village mi.
Ẹ ṣé gan, ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹ̀síwájú díẹ̀. Ẹ ṣé sister. Barrister Talabi. Màá ka question yẹn fún yín again. Kẹ́ ẹ bá wa continue níbi tí sister bá gbédé. Torí a sì máa wo question and answer session náà lọ ọjọ́ mú lókun. The question is, what do you call it? Implication. How does the ruling, right? The implication for the society, the Supreme Court ruling in Samuel Jackson's case. How does the ruling impact the confidence in the justice system? And what reform do you think are needed to prevent similar cases in the future? Thank you, sir.
The justice system, gbogbo wa la mọ̀ pé it's not normal in Nigeria contents. It's abnormal. In my practice, me sábà máa ń ṣe criminal cases because the judgment from all these court judges is biased to me, and they have connection up to Supreme Court. So as a result of that, me sábà handle criminal case. Tí n bá sọ mind me, I think they will strike out my name from the NBA register. Ìlú wa yìí, àbáwọn judges tó wà ní Nàìjíríà wa yìí, owó ti pa wọ́n, owó ti bà wọ́n jẹ́. Ondele Fárótìmí rí tó fi sọ ohun tó sọ. But they have government behind them. Àwọn náà ló wà ní government. If you cannot beat them, you have to join them. Òun ló pọ̀ jù ní gbogbo àwọn judges tá a ní Nàìjíríà. We have to be very, very, very careful. Òun ni mo ṣe fẹ́ bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń sọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí pé tí Tinubu bá wọlé fine, àìtún ní ọdún mẹ́rin míì. Bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ò bá wọlé nítorí wa máa rí, it will be very bad. The justice system here now is not something you can write about. You have cases, by the time you analyze it yourself, by the time you see it's irritating. Kò sí òtítọ́ kan nínú ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn judicial system wa. Because they base their judgment on who is the best bidder, who bid very well, who can rub the palm of judges. In fact, màá wo judge mi báyìí máa ní abájọ tó ń dájọ́ bẹ́yẹn. Because you see the sort of coat, the sort of dress he wore, you just know pé ibi ló ń pa eléyìí. Kò sí nǹkan kan tó ní. You see the type of shoes they wore. Wọ́n máa wò pé ọ̀nà dàtọ́ bá fẹ́ lè ní 1 million tó ní dájọ́ síbi tó máa favour ẹni tó fún lówó. Oh, it's very, very irritating. And compare àwọn pẹ̀lú judges ní other dispensation. Like UK, you see the judges, wọ́n mọ̀ pé judge lélẹ̀. Mẹ́tọ̀dọ̀ wa yẹn ti ìlú wa yìí is very very sad to mention. Ó jẹ́ ìlú mi, but what can we do? Yẹn ni mo ṣe ń sọ apá tá a sọ pé a gbọ́dọ̀ gba Yorùbá nation. Either tó máa jẹ́ ipá torí pé a gbọ́dọ̀ máa wò ó báyìí lọ. We cannot continue like this. Wẹ́n bá la ṣe ń ṣe lọ in another 5, 6, 10 years láì wà lẹ́nu ẹ̀. We need to find our obas.
Kí lẹ rò pé implication judgment yẹn tó bá stand?
Implication ni pé nobody will trust self-defense anymore. Tí ikú bá dé, wọ́n máa gbà pé ikú dé ni. Because when you self-defense yourself, it's the same thing kan pa ẹ́. So implication náà ò ní jẹ́ kí wọ́n ní good result lórí judgment èèyàn. Ṣùgbọ́n ikú pé mo fẹ́ pa mí kò sí téèyàn ò lè ṣe. The interstitial cell tó wà lára wa sọ pé let me defend myself. Bó jẹ́ ikú kó jẹ́ ikú. Because ọkùnrin ò lè máa rí máa bá ìyàwó ẹ̀sùn kó dẹ̀ máa wò ó. Nígbà tó pé wọ́n kó rí ẹ̀ lọ. Àbí wọ́n fẹ́ pa ọmọ ẹ̀ àbí wọ́n fẹ́ pa ìyàwó ẹ̀ kó máa wò ó. You have to defend yourself. Àbí kí n tilẹ̀kùn mi kó lè kan kẹ́nìkan fẹ́ force ilẹ̀kùn wọlé. I will defend myself. No matter what they say. Ìgbà míì ìjọba máa sọ pé ikú yájẹ̀ sí. Ṣùgbọ́n èmi rò pé eléyìí ò ní stand because the NBA in that area and the human rights justice, the human rights activists, they will stand. They will go against it.
Thank you very much. And
mo ní mọ̀ pé gọ́vnà ìlú yẹn ò ní sign death penalty fún máa yẹn. I believe that.
Thank you very much. Dr. Ifule. Sorry, sir. The question, and it's very, very important that we all highlight that, is how does the ruling impact public confidence in the justice system? And what reforms are needed to prevent similar cases in the future? Perhaps if you can just, in chronological order, state the implications. So, tell me about the implication judgment, if allowed to stand. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, implication is very simple. Kò ní sí ẹni tó máa ní confidence ní judiciary wa mọ́. And we have to actually help láti publicize the ultimate outcome of this Sunday issue. I mean, me rò pé many people beyond àwọn tó ń ka newspaper or tó wà ní social media really more nípa nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nípa this Sunday Jackson fellow. So when people really get to know it, mo rò pé máa weaken confidence nínú judiciary wa. Àti rí pé àní judiciary irú ilé tí Ghana or Benin Republic ní. We just have a Fulani judiciary where the Fulani whims and their whimsical decisions long control what to Nigeria. And until just now, until this Sunday issue or shortly thereafter, before then, many of us were not aware of this. But Sunday Jackson's case, watershed to my help àwọn èèyàn láti mọ̀ ní pé yes Fulani decision or lack of judgment lack of judgment láti indicate pé an individual who has no insight, who has no judgment, poor judgment, wọ́n lò in terms of that. Ẹ má bínú tẹ́ bá ń gbọ̀ngàn lókè o, I have a workman working upstairs. So, but can you hear me well?
We can hear you, sir.
Beautiful. So, Oma dwindle our confidence.
Ó pé workman yẹn ti get network yín o.
Clearly, I can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Iṣẹ́ àmọ̀tẹ́kùn wà nínú igbó bí tó ti ń bá àwọn àmọ̀tẹ́kùn jà síbi nǹkan tó ń fi gbọ́ dáadáa nìyẹn.
Wàhálà ṣe.
Okay. So that's how it is. So it's not going to be good for the Nigerian judiciary and the judicial system rather. But also judiciary. I really meant to say the judicial system. Oh, my weakening that are going. Yeah, that's the first part. And the second part was Barrister.
What can we do? What reforms are required, if any?
What?
What can we
Reforms.
do? Reforms. What
Oh,
can
reform. Okay. Reform náà ni kò ju pé ká gba Yorùbá nation wa ká lọ build sí on our own now. But before that, I will personally even help publicize this foolish case. Kí gbogbo ayé ba lè mọ̀, both Nigerians and non-Nigerians, let them know. Can we influence the reform within the Nigerian judiciary? I doubt it. It's too well entrenched. Tó yẹ pé mi envisage ni pé a lè máa pe àwọn lawyers or àwọn judges pé ń gbọ́ kí lẹ̀ ń ṣe. On individual basis, wọ́n á sọ̀rọ̀. But tó bá dé ibi tó ti yẹ kán make decision towards reformation, I seriously doubt if that will happen. Not unless, of course, the Nigerian Bar Association bá take it on. A body Tony some degree of credibility like Nigerian Bar Association. So bá take it on. Kode was steadfast in their support of Sunday Jackson. Well, that way there may be some little help. But whether help exists or not, whether help comes or not, the most important thing is we can realize a bit within the Fulani system, it might be very, very difficult, if not impossible, to get justice in Nigeria.
Thank you. Ẹ ṣé gan. Brother wa Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn, ẹ̀yin ni ọpọ́nà ṣùkàn. Nǹkan tí barrister àmì tí Dr. Oyefule ti sọ, mo fi pé pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan tí everybody sọ, it's in order and ó máa undermine confidence. Mo á fẹ́ opinion yín bẹ̀ nínú kíní ẹ̀ pé kí ló lè ṣe fún society wa because bí oko ẹrú la wà, no doubt gbogbo nǹkan tá a ti highlight níbi látàárọ̀ nìyẹn. And mo fẹ́ ká rántí nǹkan kan wípé Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president, is an henchman from Adamawa state, particular state tí lè ti ṣẹlẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ ṣe ní political ambition. It is very, very, very important ká lè mọ̀ wípé tí ò bá dá sí nsìn yìí kò ní dá sí ńgbà yẹn. Let the word go out. It's one of the things we must let whoever may be thinking of voting for him come on. Pé tí ò bá dá sí nísìn yìí, irú government tẹ máa rí tó bá wà di end of affair ní Nàìjíríà ní ẹ̀tọ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ nígbà fún wọn. So, but I haven't said that. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́yìn náà sọ opinion yín kí lẹ rò wípé ó máa jẹ́ implication of the judgment tá a gbọ́ nípa Sunday Jackson for the society at large. What is the implication? Or what are the implications, rather?
Okay, indulge me in sáré ta sí Sister Yemisi kékeré.
Okay.
Mo fẹ́ bèèrè lọ́wọ́ pé ṣé Shaitan àbí Satan ṣó ní oríkì? Because ṣó lóríkì o. So tí wọ́n sọ pé èṣù is not Satan, ẹ lọ check ẹ̀ dáadáa. Wọ́n ní èṣù láàlú ẹ̀gírí òkò látọ̀ pa onílé oríta.
Ọ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀kún sunkún. Onílé ẹlẹ́kún sunkún látóyè ń sun ẹ̀jẹ̀.
Ṣẹ́rí yẹn kà nínú Bible àbí Quran. So èṣù is not Satan.
Satan lèmi rí kànú Bible and language difference ni. Language difference pé wọ́n pè
definition Satan antecedent de Satan ó yàtọ̀ sí ti èṣù pátápátá. Èṣù ti exist long before Satan. Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ń kà lọ́wọ́ Abraham yẹn, ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ lọ check ẹ̀ dáadáa. Ẹ rí wípé èṣù is not Satan.
Ẹ tó fẹ́ sọ kí ni ìdí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn o.
Okay.
Àwọn ọmọ èṣù ti mú mi rí. àwọn ọmọ èṣù barista ti mi rí ọmọ èṣù mi ò rí lórúkọ bọ́dà mi owó òtọ́ ọmọ èṣù làwọn náà.
èṣù àgbèmí ọmọ èṣù Yorùbá.
àwọn tẹ̀ máa gbé ń dandan bó ṣe tí ò ṣe ní gbé. nígbà tẹ́lẹ̀kùn sunkún tó ń sọ ẹ̀jẹ̀ kí ni problem ẹ̀.
mo fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú nǹkan kan tí Dr. Oyefule sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan tá a take heed of it. And mo máa lo language màmá wa púpọ̀ láwùdà pa wọ́n ti lọ ń sìn.
Wọ́n ti lọ.
Dr. Oyefule try láti sọ fún wa pé the horse has bolted. Justice system tá à ń try láti redefine, tá à ń try láti review, tá à ń try láti ṣe kíní yẹn. It is too late. This same justice system, ṣé a rí justice nígbà ní inú ọ̀rọ̀ Bọ́lá Ìgè? Ṣé a rí justice ní ọ̀rọ̀ EndSARS? Yàyà Bello mi ò gbọ́ lẹ́nu ẹ̀ mo ṣe ń wá kíní ẹ̀ káàkiri nígbà tó sá lọ pẹ̀lú owó tọ́nà máa gbé lọ court. Nǹkan tí mo gbọ́ ni pé ó imply pé George wo ló tó bẹ́ẹ̀ kó jáde láti wá sọ̀rọ̀. Ṣé justice system wa ní tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ náà nìyẹn? Yorùbá ní ẹni bá lọ́bọ lẹ́yìn àbí ẹni tó bá lájá lẹ́yìn á pọ̀ bọ̀. I'm sorry o, àwa Yorùbá we have to be careful ká má di ọ̀bọ. Kí Fúlàní kan wá jẹ́ ajá, kí justice system wá jẹ́ ẹni tó wà lẹ́yìn wọn. We are at that stage right now. It is like flogging a dead donkey, trying to redefine our justice system. We are flogging a dead donkey. The horse has bolted. Ariwo tó yẹ ká máa pa ń sìn ni wípé ká máa jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ̀ wípé we are dealing with irredentists. We are dealing with a situation tó yẹ pé irredentism àti Fulanization, they become one. And they are driving us out of our suburbs. Our rural area, not to share rural area, suburbs, no one. So this justice system, time láti redefine me. Issue I'm taking ojú wa kúrò ní direction tó yẹ ká máa lọ.
Yeah.
We have to find a way to alert our people to these realities. Kí ni facts tó wà nínú nǹkan tá à ń sọ? Kí ni issue tó wà níbẹ̀? Kí ni ruling tá a fẹ́ ké fúnra wa pé this is the direction tá à ń lọ? Ṣé èèyàn tó máa ń ṣèpè but tí bá ronú bá ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní 2020 gbogbo àwọn tó jẹ́ ká kíkò tó wá débi tó dé yìí mi ò ní ṣèpè náà mi ò ní ṣàdúrà.
Ẹnu yóò lè ní gbogbo.
Because momentum tá à ń bá bọ̀ nígbà yẹn ní the school. Táwọn tó wá jókòó. And she must the same thing. One man wants to make the decision for the sake of the people. The same set of people will be Abdul Salam Toloko, we the people. Let the corner Joko see Yoruba nation. La Joko Amasape, we must not have referendum. It is not a case we pay boya eyan fe beru agba, but when it comes to a stage, ti agba ba ti fe pa gbogbo ọmọdé tán out of pay. You have to call them out. But a problem one year. Agba is always going to be Agba. Toba shebi Agba. We got the same problems going on in our churches. We got the same problem going on in our mosques. People making decisions without consulting other people. Emma Shinkon, whimsically. So justice system is gone. Baba, Dr. Oyefule, I'm sure pé tó máa fún yín ní time. Address láti okay. This it is irreversible. Kò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ ṣe because tá bá jókòó tá bá wo National Assembly nǹkan tá ń pè ní National Assembly kí ni ratio northerner sí southerner tó wà ń bẹ̀. A ti sọ example kan kọjá sí nígbà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ gender equality kí ló destroy bill yẹn. Àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ padà lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ wọ́n tún ti reawaken ẹ̀ ń sìn o àwọn ọmọ bó ṣe máa lọ o but I can assure you it will come back to the same thing because they will tell you it's against their ideology. It's against the ideology of the North. And nǹkan tó bá débẹ̀ kò ju wípé wọ́n kọ́ gàdàgbà sínú ìwé wọn wípé women have half the brain of men. Obìnrin máa ń dènà àdúrà. Obìnrin, ajá àti donkey wọ́n máa ń dènà àdúrà. We need to find a way to go under the aegis of our ọmọlúàbí ethos. Ọmọlúàbí ò lè sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn because ọmọlúàbí ní brain. Ọmọlúàbí will give us a better justice system. But àwọn tí ò ní culture yẹn wọn ò lè rò. It is not innate to them. Wọ́n inherit it. Àwa inherit it. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ń contaminate wa. So gbogbo justice system tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ yìí tí ò jẹ́ pé àwa la gbọ́n tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀. Àwọn tó justice system is an instrument of power. And the redemptists has seized it. So kí ló kù? So we've lost that battle. Wọ́n ní ọmọ àdùbúlẹ̀ jà ni wá. Maybe I need láti lọ dùbúlẹ̀ for real. Ká má lo quilt cover. And find a way to rescue our people, rescue the future of our children. This stage is becoming clearer and clearer pé a máa fi ogún lẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ wa. Where the ideal should be leaving ogún lẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ wa. We have lost the justice system. Ibi tẹ́ ti máa ríra padà yẹn, I like to see it.
That's one conclusion. Sorry. Sister Emi not there. God forbid, we will go back to Nigeria láti defend. And one meeting about paroch in memory. Dr. Ifulele probably almost 2 years ago, I did mention Dr. Talabishenbo. We pray àwọn ọmọ wa tó bá fẹ́ agbára ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, and we have done it. Ẹnìkan ṣoṣo tá kàn rí pé kíní àrùn lọ síbi tí wọ́n ti lè ro lágbára. We did it. Nǹkan wà lẹ̀ Yorùbá. A jẹ́ kiri bọ́n ṣe gbára wọn lẹ̀ níbòmíì. Sorry, mo láti pa kíní briefly.